Oh, well, that's not going to be long enough. I pressed that button a little bit too early, so we know that all our people are watching probably a commercial about some drug or I don't know. What else does YouTube have commercials on?
I'm pretty sure after last week, you have an insole commercials for us right here because of you, Marco.
Oh, really? Yeah, sure. Yeah, they probably got something going on. Hopefully, I wish we could get like a Skechers or a New Balance or something type of thing, but Pumas get a little discount maybe on my shoe purchases, but that's not the case. Anyways, what's going on? It's Sunday. It's Memorial Day weekend. Which holiday is this one for again?
Fallen soldiers.
There you go.
Yeah.
So make sure if you didn't go to the graveyard or whatever, do that, I guess, if that's for you. We got a nice little parade going through town tomorrow, so that would be nice. They throw little candies at all the kids and try to hit them while they run into the middle of the street as they drive military vehicles down the road.
Nice.
It's like Frogger, so yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so we'll be doing that. But for everybody else, hopefully you have a great day or have had a great weekend so far. A lot of people. I don't know what you guys do in your states, but here a lot of people travel for this weekend. So, all right.
Yeah, I'm working, so.
From Ed, woo, for Star Wars Sunday in the algorithm. Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome.
All right, you're welcome. Tommy, what's good? Tommy Longbox. What's Ed doing here so early, messing up the algorithm? Happy Saturday. Happy Star Wars Sunday. Cheers, rock on. He had to get ahead of you after that 1 week. But
That's
GT
right.
got pushed to the third. Hi. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Only one because he's in third. Did it? Oh, wow. You guys are really having a challenge going on here.
That's
All right, Ronnie, what do we got? I'm not doing the whole Rascal Superdog thing. They say things happen in threes. Friday show was a Dom Fest. Saturday show was a curtain call. Oh, did they get new curtains finally in Saturday show? It's about time. So what will Sunday show be? A great one, guys. At least Marco has some good takes. Thank you.
It's debatable.
No, it's facts. Hi. What's going on, Eric? Hit the like button. Thank you. All right, Martin. Looking forward to my weekly Star Wars fix. Have a great show, guys. Catch you on the read. Excellent. Good. You know what? It's interesting. There's not a ton of stuff going on. I don't know what news is like. Not a ton of stuff going on except for they dropped 3 comics and this MAGA, whatever, however you say it. But once again, if you're sick of hearing High Republic, then you're going to be sick again this week because we're going to be heavy into High Republic. So, hello, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. We are, Jeffrey. Thank you. Dom's working hard, though, so maybe we should. And, hey, Steve Horn came over and said hi to Dom at work, which was nice. I got to see that, so that was kind of cool. What's up, everyone? John, what's good?
Cool.
Tomorrow's a holiday. What's the over-under and how long this show goes? Maybe a couple hours. There's not a ton of stuff. We've got the thing where we're going to see if you should be buying High Republic keys this week or not again. I know you guys like that. So, yeah, Jedi is also.
Yeah. If the suspension doesn't fit, you must acquit. So
no, you served your time, so you get out, and that ain't a rhyme.
All
right.
Did everybody get their hyperdrive?
Hyperspace?
Hyperspace, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have the crashed vehicle, though. Did you have crashed vehicles there, Dom, at yours? Did you not get yours?
Well, I got them. I got the. It was kind of funny. There's only 2 copies of the Dooku and Ventress cover.
The B cover, yeah.
And I was able to get one. I got the. Well, my boy put them aside for me, so I got them.
Nice. I love that. I really like that cover. It's a good cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover. Christopher, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of people who have it. I'll be honest with you. I mean, there's still some on eBay.
The paper quality. It sucks. Huh? The paper quality.
For that one?
For that, it feels like newspaperish.
Isn't that weird? Oh, I don't know if that's bad quality. I actually think, but like, isn't it weird how Dark Horse does different quality for like the same line of like their Star Wars books? They have 3 different books, and each book has a different paper quality texture.
Yeah.
The fuck? I don't know.
The Quest of the Jedi, whatever that one, had like the best paper quality I've
ever had. I've never seen paper. That was like back to the 90s. Like that was really good shit, dude. All right, hey guys, hey Brucifer, Thomas, get to see a live show. No school tomorrow. Woo, awesome, man.
Hopefully you're done for summer.
There you go.
Well, some people got a week and a half left, so
Oh.
Wookiee fodder. Jedi's back.
You
Happy Star Wars
Midwesterners
Sunday.
don't understand that.
We have missed them. We have missed them.
The holiday. There's no more. It's done.
What's
over.
It? What's it? What?
What?
Why are you talking over people?
Santa Claus is coming back?
Jedi's
He was
back.
just saying something about his kids don't get summer vacation, that they have to go school year round.
He puts them to work. He puts them to work. He puts them to work, the poor thing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, something
They
wholesale.
They got to pull weeds all summer.
Yeah.
Wholesale's better than no sale. Oh, I'm surprised you don't have them out in, building shoes or something.
Amish, Jesus.
A couple years
Taking
from
Star
now.
Wars from the best rebels on the interwebs, Dark Cyber Rebels. Thanks, Sticks. Sorry, I'm trying to get through this, but we're getting interrupted by the other guys on the show. All right, so maybe somebody's going to get suspended next week. We'll see. All right, but it's great having Jedi back now that there's no longer Sabe and Vader.
Oh, poor Sabe.
Don't worry, though, because we'll talk a little bit about it when we talk about that hyperspace stories. But before we do that, Wayseeker, if we have news, could we please get into some great Star Wars news? Can't wait to see what this trolling is about this week.
It's been a rough couple of weeks for news.
Mark Hamill, not the one of the comebacks.
We got some fun stuff here, but this is the sad one right off the top. Ray Stevenson died this week unexpectedly at 58. He'll be playing in Ahsoka, Balon or whatever. He was also Garsax in Clone Wars. Played in a lot of other things. Good actor. That was
Hold on real quickly. Wookiee Fodder, they had a lot of the B covers? I didn't see any store that had a lot of B covers. But go ahead.
Yeah, Marco didn't care about his death. So he's like, move on.
Oh, I mean, the guy people pass away all the time.
Can I say something? I really hope, I hope he does kill it out of the park, you know what I'm saying, as Balin. But the sad thing is that if he really hits it out of the park as a character, and they had this character to be in other stuff, that kind of really sucks. It blows.
Yeah,
I hope,
and you can't reshoot it and have him die now. So
That's what you're worried about? The guy's dead. It probably blew that he actually died in real life. You think I'm the one that's over here not caring people's death? You're like, the only reason I care about his death is because if he's good at it, we don't get him anymore.
If he's good, if he's a great character, you want to see him more. That it really hits hard because you can't see this character anymore. If they recast, it sucks because
you can't recast. You can't recast. It's not a big enough character. It's just
the guy died. That sucks more. I think. I don't know. Whatever.
Obviously, that sucks for him and his family. Condolences. But I see Dom's point. I mean, if the story, and I'm sure he did a bang up job. He was really good actor from the stuff I've seen him in. But if the story just kind of doesn't have an ending for him, and it was kind of a continuation of his part in the Ahsoka story into the next season, what do? They deep fake him, or what do they do? That's kind of a dilemma, right? So we'll see.
Well, I mean, what? But hey, here's the other one. Since we're just gonna do it, I might as well say it. Be the one person in the room that's gonna say it. What happens if he sucks at it?
Yeah, then you can't say he sucks because that would be rude. So.
Yes,
he gets an Emmy either way.
Don't worry about it. If it is, I will say it. So there we go. All right, let's go. What do we got next?
All right, so there are plans in works which Disney rejected right before to change the Galactic Star Cruiser to a Mandalorian themed, similar experience. And so they were tossing this idea around, and they decided against it. I think. Iger just wasn't interested in this, and also I think it would still have the same staffing issues that would have happened anyways, and quality issues.
Add more freaking
So it was going to cost a lot more to write all those scripts and do all those parts, and they would have to let people go and then rehire people to train, and so it was not a good idea.
This should have been we said it before. This should have been a Jabba's barge party adult themed vacation spot, and it would have been a home run. And this just
and I say the same thing, original trilogy, but you know what? George Lucas still gets a kickback from original trilogy stuff, so that's why Disney don't want to do it. Disney wants to make their own things.
George Lucas gets a kickback from everything. That's why it says create everything.
Everything.
No, I thought only the stuff when they show original trilogy.
Everything that says created by the created Star Wars universe created by George Lucas. When it says that, he gets a kickback from it. When it says his name, hey, guess what? It says that every fucking thing, everything. He gets a kickback
Marco,
on everything.
you know more about this. So does Disney? They can write this off, right? I mean, is this a huge loss or is this something?
No,
they can write off?
no. I mean, they were.
It's $300 million loss is what they're saying. They can write off.
Yeah, they can write off. They're. I don't want to
move on to the next bad idea then.
No, there's some interesting business going on over with Disney right now with what they're trying to do, and this was
never an Iger thing, and
for them.
Iger did not like the directions that Chapek took the parks, raising rates and everything like that, and this was not something that
I don't know. You say that, and he's kind of, but when you actually hear him on the like investor calls, it's a little bit. He talks out of both sides of his ass because he's like, yeah, well, we canceled shit because he like called out somebody called in about one of the discount things that they were getting, and he's like, I've been a member for 30 years of blah. And he goes, yeah, well, you and 5 people are members. That's why we canceled it. So too bad, brother. Like he does just, if he doesn't, this one he was talking about too, because they had talked about the staffing issues, and he's like, it's not up to quality. So, and we're never going to get there. So we've let it go long enough. We got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's what he does. So
just make it a regular hotel. That's it.
Yeah.
They can't staff it anyways. I mean, it doesn't matter.
They can't. I mean, they could just staff a regular hotel where you don't have to do all the costumes and all that other stuff, but whatever. Yeah, Pablo Pascal talked this week a little bit about why he is no longer going to be wearing the suit and he's only be doing the voice now. So Dom, you might see him once or twice without a helmet here and there, but he has pretty much said that those days are behind him. He talked about how uncomfortable it was, how much work it was, how it just didn't fit his body right, and it was lots of wear and tear on him, and he just wasn't interested in playing the part like that whenever all the other parts opened up. So all these people that were like talking about how he wanted to be more screen time, how he wanted more face time, that's just not true. He said he didn't enjoy being in the costume all day long. It was hot, it was uncomfortable, it wasn't fun, and he really enjoys just doing the voice work. And so you're probably not going to get to see him without his helmet on, maybe again, or maybe just one more time. It just was not something that he was really interested in doing. So, yeah.
Well, I imagine wearing that helmet sucks. I really do. So,
yeah, he's able to do all the other work now. He's able to do movies and TV shows and still do this. So, to him, it's a win-win.
Yeah, I thought that was always the situation, is that he was going to not be able to be flexible and not have to do it. So,
yeah, no, he said
Pablo or Pedro.
Season 1, he talked about how much work it was, how many hours he had to put in.
Pedro, I think he screwed it up.
We get it, Blue Beetle.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
I got so much things to do.
No. We're not letting him get over with whatever. But don't worry, we'll keep that one.
Pablo Pascal.
We'll keep that one.
Whatever. I got.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we thought, anyways, though. So, like, I don't think this is a big surprise.
Well, you know what? Listen, another thing too is it also has to come with money too. There's a money situation too. He's getting paid more money to be in the Last of Us and all the other stuff. Disney, probably lowballed him in a lot of things too. And he, like, you know what the voices? Because when they first told him he was a voice actor.
That is not true.
You're sure?
He was actually not a voice actor because he has actually played the part all the time in season 1. I don't even think it's probably about money. He probably could make more money by doing Last of Us and doing Mando. He couldn't do 2 things if he was doing both, but this enables him to do multiple projects. And if this one is really,
he could do multiple projects.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, wasn't this? God, dude, you know how bad some of the rumors were? Because wasn't there a rumor early on that Pedro Pascal hated having the helmet on because he wanted to show his face because he wanted to be valuable? Yeah. They felt if he didn't take the helmet off, if he took the helmet off, there's some stupid ass rumor like that, wasn't there? I
still think some of it is true. It may not all be true, but I think there is some truth. Come on, there's 3 sides to every story, and I think some of it is true because a lot of people were running with that, and a lot of people had that on.
A lot, Dom, people that know absolutely dick all about how fucking any of this work, make shit up, and you think there's some part of that has any truth to it. Like dick all. They literally know dick all. They know dick all about it. It's obviously not true because the guy has proven it by doing 3 different fucking things and then came out and said, hey, yo, man, this is actually cool because now I can do 3 things instead of 1, get paid from all 3 motherfucking things, which means make 3 times as much fucking money.
Yeah.
And not have to go and dress up in a hot, like, I think when somebody's like, yo, you know what's bullshit? Having to dress up in fucking a hot ass suit and go to work every day when I could just go and get on a speaker real quickly, talk, and say, fuck it, get paid the same.
Now, the rumor I heard, the reason why he hates doing it, Grogu's very hard to work with.
That could be true. He probably doesn't like to work with a puppet.
Hey, how about this? If you could do, hey, Tom, if you could do your job without having to go to fucking work and then they paid you for doing 2 more jobs, would you fucking do that?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so that's probably the fucking truth is he gets paid to do 2 more fucking jobs, all right? And he doesn't have to go to fucking work and put on a fucking monkey suit here, weighs 50,000 pounds. I bet you that's the rumor I've heard. That's also the truth I fucking heard. And guess what? It probably got some reliability to it. What?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt until he gets drunk and, starts talking about how Star Wars fans suck and they need to grow out of it. When he does that, then I'll start doubting him. Until then, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I mean, he hasn't said that. I don't know if that to be honest, I think that's very few people that do that. There's mainly one drunk fucking moron who got a job because his dad was in the business that does that, and that's it. So,
yeah.
And maybe Mark did that one time, but now he's retracted it and everybody loves it.
Maybe more than once, but that's all right.
I believe Dom that. I bet the puppet's just unsufferable, and he doesn't even shoot with it around him. But yeah, I bet. He's like, fuck this. I'm making millions of dollars. I can't deal with a fucking puppet.
Yeah, the freaking goddamn Grogu has these high demands.
It's a puppet, right? There's not actually a fucking Grogu, right?
I know. That's what I'm joking. It's just
okay. I don't know, man. You just okay. All right.
I'm an actor. I can act.
Go ahead.
Lars Mikkelsen talked a little bit about Celebration and Thrawn this week and talked about how it brought him to tears. He was overwhelmed by applause. He's never had a role where he's been received really well. And so it was just amazing for him to be received so well by Star Wars fans. And just talked about his deep appreciation for being able to keep coming back in Thrawn, while noting that the Thrawn that we saw in Rebels is not the Thrawn we're going to see. He said, lots has changed. It's been many, many years, and Thrawn has learned, he's grown, he's evolved. In some ways, he's become a little bit more ruthless. In other ways, he's even more strategic. So we'll be interested.
We're not going to get the book of Thrawn. Is that what you're saying?
We'll be interested to see how that changes. Yeah.
He was so overwhelmed with the tears of joy of the money that's going to be coming in his way, cha-ching, ching, and how the fans are going to accept him. Sure. Let's see this.
I like JJ's comment. JJ's comment.
Filoni's right. He didn't evolve. Filoni just changes it. Yep, you're right.
He's just said find himself on Endor and get saved by Ewoks, and they're going to change his life. Oh, yeah.
He just said word salad, and you guys are dissecting it like it's fucking, Kobe steak here. It ain't that serious. He just goes, yeah, the dude's been away for a while, so he's going to be more what he was. He's going to be more ruthless, and he's going to be more tactical. Wasn't that what he is?
Hey, we got new stuff in here. We got low Star Wars week.
All right. I'm just asking.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm glad that he was crying. I'm glad that he's crying. Good for him.
Is he going to grow a beard and be blue with a beard, or is he going to have his beard taken off?
Maybe he'll have a beard. What do you want? Thrawn with a beard?
What if he has a mullet? What if it's Thrawn mullet? Like these.
Well, he did have a mullet in the comic book. He had that long hair.
Yeah, but they give him the shave side mullet thing. He comes back wearing those 1990 glasses.
He's gonna have a man bun. His hair's gonna be out in a man bun. He's gonna be walking around.
I mean, yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep moving on. This one's for you, Dom.
Will he have all 4 pens?
This is a rumor. This is not anything other than a rumor, but this is the only big rumor that we had of the week, so I put it in here. Dom was blowing up on this in chat, 45 messages talking about it.
Shit.
You were upset and happy and all this.
One message.
No, there's more than one. There's more than one.
And not Boba. Freaking Rex.
Yeah, I know you're mad because he's going back to Rex. But
I don't think Dom believes this at all. Dom did not mention this one time on Friday, so I don't think even Dom believes it.
I believe this 100%. Either Captain Rex is dead, or he needs to be in Ahsoka because it doesn't make sense for him not to be in Ahsoka. That's my thought. Why would you not have Captain Rex in Ahsoka unless he's dead? So either he should be dead or he should be in Ahsoka. because they are always best friends. And if they're going to go on a quest together, if Ahsoka's going on a quest, she should take Captain Rex with her.
He would be way too old, right? Because
they're saying
it's Star
true.
Wars. It's
the
Star Wars.
clones accelerated age, and we already see how old Boba was.
Yep, he
Boba
should have
actually
died
41.
on
41, 5 years after the events of friggin' Return of the Jedi. They made him a 60-year-old something man. They aged him 10 years more than what he. 20 years more than what he is. So
then he'd be almost 90. He'd be like 93.
Yeah,
95-year-old Rex come rolling in.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that garbage. Let's bring in 95-year-old fucking Rex because like Book of Fett wasn't dog shit enough.
De-age him.
I'm just saying he either should be dead or he should go on. He should be somehow incorporated.
No. Let's just leave it alone. Why only who gives a shit? We're gonna bring us Hera. Let us see. Even if you want to give us a little Ezra a little bit, get us some Sabine. Give us what we want. Maybe a little Zeb comes rolling around. Okay, cool. Give us, a little bit of that. We don't need what do we need fucking 96-year-old Rex for?
Nah, I heard that the two sisters are showing up.
You bring up Walls too. Oh, Jesus, Dom.
I don't know about that, Dom. I don't know about that. But how mad is Dom going to be if Rex is a badass at 90 years old and Boba that was like complete wuss?
Oh, this is where you're going with it. I see what you're doing now. I get it. This is all a setup to try to piss off Dom and him scream about how you can write better.
Ray Sicker.
He got one for you.
I'm just saying it's going to happen. He's going to be totally
awesome.
Will.
You know what? You want to hear something funny? When I go in the comic store, my comic shop, and I talk about this, my friend always turns around and tells me, Dom, Boba Fett evolved. He evolved. He's a different person than he was when he was ruthless and stuff like that. Everybody changes. I'm like, no. 40 years of waiting for this son of a bitch to come out of the goddamn Sarlacc, and I had to get that? No.
I'm just saying it also doesn't make sense that he evolved so much when he was totally not that way in Mandalorian season 2.
Wait, how did he get knocked into the Sarlacc pit again?
Luke Skywalker freaking guided Han Solo to hit him.
Boba Fett, where?
Hey, Luke had that Jedi kick where he didn't even touch the guy in the face and the guy went flying. So I'm going with the freaking guy that he guided Han Solo to hit Boba Fett. He used the Force.
It can't just be Kid Rush. What's up, Jerome? I don't know. Being partially digested changes to me, maybe. I guess I don't.
But you know what's funny? It's not right after he was in the Sarlacc longer than people were talking about. They said that he wasn't there. That wasn't right after he fell in the Sarlacc. He was there for a while in the Sarlacc.
People say a lot of shit.
I don't know. I don't know the true story.
All roads lead to Boba.
It's not a true story. The shit's made up. It's literally fantasy. Star Wars is we do know it's not real, right? It sounds like my kids when they go to Celebration when they're like, "Oh, it was so awesome. We went to Star Wars." No, it's not actually. I don't even want to
listen. It's
dreams.
Real to me.
My name's not Wayseeker. I don't just crush little kids' dreams. I let them fucking enjoy it and think they've been to planet Star Wars. I let them do that shit. But you know what I mean? It's not real. It is made up, dude. It's not a real place.
I know it's made up, but you know what? It's my
love
place to get out of reality, to enjoy my fantasy.
That's what everything behind you is, Dom.
All right, move along. Move along.
Mark Hamill had a couple interviews this week. This was the 40th anniversary. He talked quite a bit. He likes to talk, so that's not surprising. So one thing he talked about this week was how he didn't believe any more Luke stories need to be told. He thinks that it's okay to leave that story done. Even if there are great stories that could be told, you don't need to tell them. But if they decide they need to tell them, he would be completely okay if they recast Luke.
I don't believe a word coming out this motherfucker's mouth.
Hey,
I don't believe we heard this before. Then he bitched about it. Like he's like, "Oh shit! All right, yeah, I'll be back in Rise of the Shit Bag." And then all of a sudden after that, he's like, "Yeah, no problem. But hey, yeah, give me in this show real quickly because I had to make up for that."
Hey,
no, he does this shit.
Rejuvenated. He did The Machine. He's in The Machine coming out soon. So he wants to be Luke Skywalker again.
No, I think he's done. I think he's over it. He's happy with how it ended. Now that he got his chance to be kind of redeemed with potato dies with Mandalorian.
Wasn't he
look much
just in
better.
another movie or something? What was
It's
that?
the machine. That's what he's
The
talking about.
Machine.
What about Bird?
Yeah, okay. Now
The guy that's
That's what I thought.
based on Van Wilder. Van
Now,
Wilder's
you know
based
what?
on that.
Listen,
guy.
look, this is my thing. There's a lot of stories to talk about, Mark, about the Star Wars and Luke Skywalker. You know, you can't there definitely will be more stories with Luke, but I don't know. Like I said, I think
Yeah, thank you, Jerome. He's lying.
the way the direction's going, they're looking to go outside of doing different things. You know, like all the things I said about before, like Luke, Leia, and Han, and all that stuff like that. They're trying to get away from that. Definitely trying to get away from that.
I think they should. I was going to leave this till the comics to show you why, but they should. If you read Black, White, and fucking Red, it's like, why are we even doing Vader stories? Like, why? We keep trying to fix bullshit with bullshit. Like, stop. Just don't do the big three, big four, whatever, big six. You know, like leave them be. Leave the big six be. We don't need to be fucking around with them. We don't need to know these stories. The stories in our head are better than what they're gonna put out about them, anyways.
Then you know what they should do?
I think they've done a disservice to Luke. I know some people said they fucking were crying with that horse shit, but no, it's garbage. Like they did some pumped up bullshit with him to be like, oh well, we're just gonna do a reenactment of what fucking Vader did, and then we're gonna make no fucking sense whatsoever with why Luke was anywhere and what the fuck he was doing with Grogu. Because none of that did any of that. Please, because I got a lot of heat of it early on when I said this is bullshit. They shouldn't be doing it because it's fucking just bullshit, weak ass wannabe fanfic. What was the whole point of it? Anybody have a point?
There was no point of it. Because they did it. It made no sense, and it was the stupidest thing. But
Dumb as shit.
I'll tell you what. If you want Luke to live on, make the legend stories that Luke had in Legends.
Don't make anything. No, don't. Let it go.
Put them back in
Hey,
canon.
what's
The
that?
stories.
What's that?
Put
What's
them
that?
back in canon
Like that
and
that
move on.
song? The song with the Travolta one that he screwed up the girl's name. Let it snow. Let it go. Let it go. Let this shit go. Let it go.
I'm just saying. The fact is that if you take those stories that he had where he was legend, put them in canon, and that's it, and then move on. Go to new things. You know, I'm starting to get to the realization that I'm not going to get what I want. You know, so because they're doing their own thing.
Let it go. All right.
So we got more of Mark talking.
Oh Jesus, he doesn't ever shut the fuck up, does he? Go ahead.
Mark
what do you say
also
next?
was asked if he was going to be in the new Jedi Order movie with Rey, if he was going to make a cameo as a ghost or something else, and find a way to come back. And he says, "I don't expect to be in that movie." So
Please,
that was the big news. I don't know how he would be in that movie. Why he would be in that movie? He shouldn't be in that movie.
Yeah, you fucking never know, dude.
But you never know. That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we saw the Obi show. We saw the Book of Fetch. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things shouldn't fucking happen. But they do.
So Mark just talks and talks and talks and
He
talks.
does. He's always talked though. Like this is one thing. Love. I mean,
Pleasure.
look. He'll keep talking and he puts out clips and a lot of stuff that gets clipped. Like you could just use his you could use his clips and make them see. A lot of people early on when they were trying the internet thing with like gotcha clips that they use for Dom. Like they used a lot of Mark's stuff because he will just jibber jabber about nothing and be like, yeah, I didn't think that was great, but I was there. And then the director made it really good. So they'll be like, I didn't think it was great. Mark Hamill hates, or the director and hates Catherine Kennedy. He does that. He just keeps talking because he doesn't have shit else to do. And don't tell me he's the dad in the machine. Like that's some fucking Academy Award. Dude, Bert fucking told that story 800 times. If you don't know the story of the fucking machine, you've lived under a rock 1,000 times. And literally his dad is not his real dad, but it's not that big of you're not calling up Mark to be some, let's be honest. He's not going to be a Bourne identity anytime soon. He's not going to be a top Maverick. He's not going to be like a Tom Cruise type. He's never going to be any of these top guys. I mean, you can knock Top Gun too, but like I understand the appeal for people like Jedi of just redoing the movie almost exactly the way it is and have Tom Cruise kind of strolling there. And even though Val Kilmer not being able to talk was kind of fucking sad, but whatever.
Senor Cruz.
What are you going to do with Hamill? Because he can't. He can play the Joker voice, and he can be a goofy fucking nerf herder. Huh?
He had a voice career. He had a really good voice career prior to the sequel. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like he can do Joker and shit. Yeah, but like
that, he can. He'll always be can always be a spokesman, I guess, or he's for Star Wars because
Yeah,
he's that iconic. But he doesn't need to be any more films. I think
Yeah,
maybe he sees the writing on the wall, and so he's
Yeah.
trying to get ahead of it. Maybe I don't know.
Please go back and watch Hamill's acting like in all of Star Wars. He literally is a goofball. Like
Oh, my goodness.
he's a
Corvette Summer.
goofball. Huh?
Corvette Summer. Watch Corvette Summer.
Why? He's not good in that shit either.
I know. I'm just joking. I'm being sarcastic.
Oh,
See,
Yeah, but
I'm
why
an
watch
actor. I'm an actor.
I don't know if you are.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, I think so, Joe. I think this is. A lot of people want this, and I mean, after this week, I don't see why not. I mean, it's. We're gonna move on to it because
I agree. Talking about High Republic, these came out a few months ago. I missed them, and I caught up when I saw these. But we had special Japanese covers for Light of the Jedi and Into the Dark. These are the covers for Light of the Jedi. I actually really like these covers. I mean, I know people really talked about the Ahsoka ones, and they really resonated with these ones, so I thought I'd do some more of these. But I love Marcion there in particular. How that is.
I like the Martian Road cover.
That's really cool.
Yes.
he looked badass in that MAGA too, dude.
He did look really cool.
Holy
there.
shit, man!
Yeah.
That guy, fuck.
I mean,
that-
that's live action, man.
I mean, I was told. The reason why I'm bringing this up too is because a couple weeks ago I was told, like, "Hey, dude, all you're doing is High Republic content. Maybe you should do something." And I'm telling you, it's the best. I mean, it's good. If you aren't in on it, it really. I mean, I'm not like Wayseeker where I'm like, Sanos and High Republic, but like, you know what I mean? It's really good stuff. So
I like how they have, and I realize it's the Japanese way. It's the art of manga and anime. But now they've got Avar Chris as a, well, I don't know, 16-year-old girl.
she looks like somebody from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, she does.
That wasn't a 16-year-old girl. That was a 20-year-old. That's soft features. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So those are the Light of the Jedi. These are the End of the Dark. Actually, like these.
Wait, could you go back? Did they put a mustache on Belle?
I can't tell.
That's funny. You know what, Jedi? That's funny because he looks. You're right. She looks a lot younger, a lot more soft features, and they put a lot more angry and adult features on Belle, who's actually way younger.
Angry. That may be shading or shadowing. Is that a must? I don't think that's a must.
I mean, Elzar also looks pretty young back there.
Elzar. He looks a little old in the first one. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I actually really like these ones too.
Are these books up in value? What's the value of these books? Anything?
The only ones that are really valuable are the original ones they did for Hope, Empire, and Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the hard part is these things cost a lot of money because shipping is so much. If you can't find them. I mean, like even the Ahsokas I was looking at, you can buy them for like $20, but then shipping is like $60 to get it shipped over here. So that's the hard part. Like, you just paying for shipping. So, but I like the Orla. There's Comac there on that one.
Hey, can we answer this from Trev? I think the next Sidious is got. I mean, I think we already got it. I think it has to be Martian Row. Like, they're setting it up where we're not going to have the traditional, like. And I'm glad. Like, I think what they're doing with High Republic is really good, and it opens up a lot of doors because you can use a lot of sub. You can do like Martian Row already. If you haven't read Phase 1, has a bunch of like sub tier threats, just like Dooku, Ventress. You know, all the. If you look at his thing, he already has kind of the rule of two loosely going on. He's in charge, and then he has all these little underling bosses, and it's working out pretty. Even the underlings are like pretty hardcore motherfuckers. So like they seem like a threat, which is nice. Sorry, there's a huge. Sorry to interrupt your news, but there's a huge High Republic convo going in the chat. Which
they really have got to get that one, the Wayseeker, in some live action. So I'm just every time I see that lightsaber, I want to know how the functionality of that lightsaber. I just don't get it. They got to explain it.
I love Orla. Oh,
yeah,
I know you love
it.
They need to explain to me how that lightsaber is any good.
I can't. I don't know how it's any good either. Yeah,
dude. Hey, after it took like 16 chapters to explain the fucking sword and shield thing, and still going like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this? I'm not quite sure we're gonna get how that fucking lightsaber is worth its weight in gold.
I know. I agree. We got some gaming news. This week was the Embracer, quarterly conference call, and somebody asked them about the Kodor remake at the shareholder meeting, and he just laughed and said no comment. So at this point, I think fans are realizing that the game is, on life support. So when
we were saying that don't get your hopes too high for Revan, I don't think we were. I think we were like, well, this could be real. This is the way they could do it, but like, this is not for all those people that are crossing their fingers and hoping for Revan.
We're getting a Revan Hallmark Christmas ornament.
Yes, we are.
That's what we got. That's what we got.
Whatever that means.
So we don't get the video game or TV or what the shit. Trev, what do you got going on here, Trev? Killing the chat, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is unfortunate because I was one of the first big things of this, and I think a year and a half, 2 years ago, I finally looked at the writing on the wall and was like, wow, we're never gonna see this cat. Like, that's unfortunate. But that's okay. You want to know why it's okay? Because the Grand Inquisitor, because Book of Fett, because let's just leave it. You don't need to mess with him. All right. He's got some good books out there.
But I've seen gaming people, I don't know, remake games in ways that are fun because the game is really horrible to play.
Oh yeah.
If you go back now, it's like miss, lightsaber throw, miss. You actually hit him like 1 out of every 10 times because of how the thing was. It didn't age well.
It doesn't age well. I get that. Yeah.
And just wanted to be updated to where, the game was still, the story would be good, but the game didn't suck.
John, they always have villains. Thank you for that, John. Thank you. Hold on. Fuck it. Let's do it. We haven't done it in a while. I thought I almost lost it. Get John's comment up. Somebody go hit John's comment real quickly.
Ring the bell.
Jesus. You guys are doing great in the chat, by the way. All right.
All right. So we got other gaming news this week. This one, I'm with JJ. I'm not sure this is good news. Ubisoft's open world Star Wars game is targeting a 2024 Q1 release. And that's because Ubisoft has been in big trouble. The company has been struggling. They have not had very many good hits lately. Their quarters have been, their numbers have gone way down financially.
What the hell
did
they do? Might Magic? I don't even know what the hell they did. What did they did Settlers back in the day. Like they did that Settlers game.
They did a Mario game. They did some, yeah. But it seems like they're rushing this game because they need a win really badly, and they know that people will buy Star Wars. And I just hope this game doesn't suck because they're going to rush this game because they know they can make money off of Star Wars IP.
What the fuck? I don't know the last Ubisoft game that I played.
Yeah. It's bad.
What happened with the Hunter?
I don't fucking know. Huh?
The Hunter game.
Star Wars Hunters?
Yeah.
They got lots of things to work on that game.
I
played it. I still play it about once a month.
Oh, okay. Right. You know what?
It's
I don't
tough
play the games, and that's the whole thing. But I thought the game that they had before, remember the game they had, the mobile game that came out before? It was on the phone. You could be all characters. They added Dr. Afra. They had all the characters in it. It was like
the Galactic.
I thought that was pretty cool.
It was. It's still out. You can still play that game.
You can still play that game, but it's like, the grind. They microtransactioned it for a little bit, and then it kind of lost its glare. It's kind of.
Yeah, JJ says Assassin's Creed was their stream for a while.
Oh, yeah, Assassin's Creed.
But it's been a while. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're struggling, and so I really hope they're not pushing this game out as quickly as possible because they need money. So we'll see. I think this actually will happen because I do think.
But Jerome, I mean, when was Dante's? I mean, like that's what we do. Guys. Jerome, you're one of the youngest dudes in our chat, and you're starting to make yourself look old talking about that. All right. Yeah.
No, they're not going to lose the license.
Yeah, they're not going to lose the license.
Ubisoft doesn't have the license. EA had the license. The license expired, so that's not a worry. They need the money.
I don't think it's as easy as fucking Ubisoft. I don't think it's as easy as they pitch. I mean, everybody pitches like they're gonna be the next savior and shit. But as much as people bitched about EA and Battle Front, people still fucking play that Battlefront all the time. I mean, they made the proper changes.
That game that came out.
That's what I'm saying, Jerome. You're still young compared to a lot of people in the chat.
The Disney game what was the game that Disney had? They had the little figures too that came out with it. See, I'm bad with the
Infinity.
I thought that was pretty good too. And it was cool. You could actually
some of those figures go for a lot of money still.
Yeah. You could put those figures. Well, doesn't Toy Box makes the regular action figure now that actually is designed of those figures, but more fully posable now. Toy Box from Disney. But anyway, I was saying that game was cool because you could put Marvel characters in there with other characters.
Yeah.
The story.
That game was for like 5-year-olds, bro.
I know. That was cool. I was Boba Fett. My brother was my nephew was Captain America. Man, come on.
That's all that matters. Boba
That
Fett.
is all that matters.
All that matters. The game has Boba Fett. It's a great game.
Yes, it is.
The mean average in the chat is about 67. They fucking okay. Yep, give it to them too. That's fucking hilarious.
This lineup here can't be older than me.
Ring a bell.
Can't be older than what? Sorry.
We're the oldest group people there.
Oh yeah, they're really old.
I got one more. We got one more news, I think. One more. This one's for Dom right here.
I don't think so either, Thomas.
Yeah.
So next at the end of this month or end of June, Princess Leia's dress, the one that she's wearing here at the end of A New Hope, is going up for auction, and they are expecting the dress to sell for around $2 million.
Jerome, I think eventually in the next 5 to 8 years we are going to get this character. So I mean, you gotta have to wait. Wow.
And you'll probably get a lot more appearances of him than Boba Fett.
What do you think?
We got Hondo toys. Hondo's got some retro toys and stuff, huh?
But Dom, I did look it up because I was curious. The gold bikini from Return of the Jedi in 2015 last came up to auction, so for $96,000. So you could buy a New Hope dress of Leia for $2 million, or you could have bought.
I want the bikini.
For $100K.
I gotta find the bikini. I want
That's
that.
crazy because the bikini is a lot more iconic than.
And if you notice, the new poster that came out, they had a whole bunch of new posters that were done for Return of the Jedi. Not one picture of Leia in her bikini.
Guys, that's 10 years ago that fucking bikini sold for $96,000.
But that's a big difference from 96 to 2 million.
What shit was selling for in 2015 collectible wise? The numbers compared to what it's selling now, it's a big it is a big difference. It's a big difference.
Carrie Fisher's nipples were in that damn bikini, and people want it.
Well, her nipples were in the dress too. That's just
Dom. What does that even mean, Dom? Sometimes it's good, but then sometimes you just go too far. Where do they call your wife, Mrs. Giggles? Mrs. Fat Giggles? She gotta come in there and give you a backhand to the head for
I
that.
just want to know where were her nipples? Where were her nipples when she wore the dress?
They were there.
Actually, all kidding aside, if you read her story, apparently they had to tape her. It was funny. They taped them and stuff like that.
I read that. Yeah,
That's usually that happens to females.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because you don't want to have people poking out. Yeah,
that bikini's iconic. Come on,
we're gonna talk about.
I was 13 years old, man.
Female anatomy now.
That damn bikini. Come on, man.
Wait, knew exactly where he was going to go when he put this in the.
They take
$2 million.
Jedi, you're right. I'm seeing what he's doing. There's stories in here where I'm like, why the fuck is he? This is. And you can just see he starts off slow with Dom, and he pokes Dom.
Face right now. You don't think he knew exactly where?
Yeah, he does. He starts off little poke, tries to get warmed up. Then 2 stories later, little punch in the shoulder. By the time this story comes up, smack to the back of Dom's head. Let's get him going.
Thank you.
Oh shit!
I'm rubbing the goat.
I got so much news this week. I only got so much to work with. That is the week in Star Wars.
Yeah, you were just mentioned in the chat. Giggle Fett, she's right here.
Oh, good. Hit him in the back of the head for the.
They want you to hit me in the back of the head.
No, don't hit it. We don't need abuse. I don't wonder how much.
She's coming over here. She'll do it.
Yeah. Did she hear what you said? Did she hear what you said?
Tell her what I said.
I'm not telling her what you said.
She's right here. She's standing right next to me.
He's talking about Princess Leia's nipples. Yeah. Get him. Get him.
Saying
Get
that
him.
the bikini. Ow.
Yeah. All right. Good. I'm all for that. I didn't see it.
Hey,
Nobody saw anything. Nobody saw anything, by the way. Nobody saw anything.
Listen, I gotta go off a second. I'm injured.
All right, let's get into comic talk. I had high expectations for this book.
They said hi, Miss October.
Oh, hi. Yeah. There you go. John says hi. There you go. And then Dwayne Scott's laughing that you hit him. So there you go.
I bet.
Giggles equals assassin. That's it. Yep. There you go. All right. I had high expectations for this. I really do like the B cover. This book, I don't know. It comes out. It actually starts out pretty sweet. We see Ventress getting in sweet fights, but then she gets tricked and tripped from behind. It's just and then locked up. But she did it on purpose so that she could break into the system. I thought that was really cool. I wish we could have seen a little bit more action of that.
Me too.
But it was all a setup to tell her that.
John was calling this first appearance an important first appearance on as well this week. So I don't know what he was doing with that one.
Really?
There was a first appearance in this.
I know. It's that Jedi, that Padawan or whatever. Yeah. It's not important.
It's not important though.
I know, but it's still first appearance.
No, yeah. All right, and so is the foot. The foot's actually important too because that's a Jedi.
Go back to this art is hideous of a Ventress there when she's in the
really.
cave.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was just cool because when she was doing when they used her lightsabers to fight, like the swish motions were really cool. I thought that was cool.
But when she's in like her hood, like that's not like she doesn't even look like Ventress there. It's like some purple.
Hey, is that a first appearance of the Master's foot there? Is that what we're doing? That's a very
the girl right here. See the girl.
I know that's the panel, but look down there is her Master's foot tripping.
He tripped her.
Yeah. That's a different person.
What do you think? They showed Ventress. What is that? Her garter belt? Is that you good with that?
Don't get him smacked again. Anyways, but it was kind of cool because I thought this part of the story was pretty good. The first 8 pages was pretty good in this. It even shows how Dooku kept just zapping her, anything she did wrong and treated her pretty poorly. And even she does this breakout thing. She's like, I'm going to kill you if you ever. And he's like, no, you're not. I thought that was pretty good. She then goes and gets set up, kills a bunch of troopers, still good. But then we get the Gungans. Oh, Jesus, what the heck? So we go to Naboo and we get a wasa wasa. Oh, here's that stupid bear that Wayseeker likes for no reason. And all of a sudden, a terrible looking Anakin shows up. And then Obi yells, wait, don't follow her. And then Ventress is peering back on oh, cool. I got him in trouble because they got away. So now his master's going to shock him. I guess that's what she's into. She's into watching other people getting tortured.
No, she just thinks that's how everybody does when they're messed up because that's what happens to her.
Yeah, it's stupid. No, but she was very excited about it.
Yeah,
very, very excited.
She wanted to see somebody.
This is where this is where the story gets stupid. And then after that, when she doesn't see that, she decides to jump back down. She finds the little bear thing that's got the little whatever in the artifact in the back.
Yeah,
and then she goes yeah, I'm not gonna give it to him. Instead, I'm gonna take the lightning shock to my neck. And stupid. Okay,
I actually like the ending to this one.
That's how you don't end a good story.
She's like, Dooku, you do this yourself. I'm tired of being your puppet.
No, that's not kind of what she said. She said, I know where it is. She said, I know where it is in the end, so I'll always have that over you. Which
she also said something about you can do it yourself.
That part wasn't that part wasn't the worst part. I don't think the last panel was. I thought the last panel was good because it fit the first 8 pages. I'm just talking about the other piss poor drawing of Anakin and Obi, the fucking stupid shit with the you saw here you go so here you go so
not bad. I've seen worse artwork. Oh, we've seen worse artwork than this.
No, not much.
Not much.
Not much.
I mean, look
at how bad Obi looks in there.
Right. I mean, we're at the end of this era, we're gonna have to re-rank stuff, and I gotta say right now, IDW sure did do. And for all their faults, did a fucking way better job than Dark Horse and stuff. So
I would agree.
It's just embarrassing.
I actually thought the first 8 pages were really good. The last little bit was good. They just didn't need to do the middle part.
Yeah. The last 2 pages, I'll give you that. But this whole middle section sucked. But they've been doing that a lot with their books. I don't know. Oh, holy red, white, and nobody reads this shit. there's some cool covers, but this sucks. Here you go. It's 3 parts because Hard Shutdown was so shit poor in the first one. They decided to give us part 2 of that piece of crap. Actually, that was probably the best one in the first one, and that's not saying much because they weren't good. That was the one. Remember, Momoka had one in there too. That was terrible. Then we get the Endless. That's that one I think is not so bad here. One of these isn't so bad, but they're not. It's not worth buying this book. So if you recall in the first the Shutdown, that's where they had shut down Vader. And the guy tells them, like, oh, yeah, my dad was the guy that made all your stuff, and I've got figures, and he used to replace me with robotic parts. I'm Valance 2.0. We're going to chainsaw you up. We know that's not going to happen. They say they have him completely paralyzed, but he can obviously use the Force. So, yeah, he uses the Force. What the fuck ever. Stupid. Doesn't even go anywhere. I mean, the story doesn't go anywhere. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? It doesn't go anywhere. The next one, I love the red in this, but it's an old trope that they use 100 times over. Main badass bad guy gets captured by some species type things. This one turns out to be a scientist that she ended up performing on herself and turns into these other insectoids.
It's like friggin' aliens.
Yeah.
They had the picture of Alien versus Vader. They have the artwork.
Yeah, I gotta say the artwork was probably pretty cool. This is probably the best artwork in the book, but that's not a reason to buy this because the story was shit. And then Vader just kills them all.
That's all That's pretty cool. That's actually cool. I like that picture of Vader.
I like the picture, but like once again, not worth the buy of the book. The third story is about this kid. He gets picked on. This group of ruffians is like, yeah, fuck it. They throw him down on the ground, and then they burn his pit. It's so stupid. This is so stupid. So they're picking on a kid, and they decide like, oh, hey, we're gonna pick on him, and then we're gonna kind of mess your droid up. But then you know what? Also, we're gonna do. We're gonna go to your house where somehow your mom's there, and we're gonna light that bitch on fire and burn it down without her knowing it, even though she's there. I don't know. It's stupid. I guess not the worst story out of 3. Probably the best story. But parts just didn't make. I can't see the chat, so there's a lot of hewing going on. All of a sudden, this dude looks different, and then for some reason, stormtroopers show up and start looking for a rebel. But like that makes no sense because there's nobody there. That's like nobody's this far in the story is a fucking rebel. It makes no fucking sense. There's no reason for the story to be told. And then all of a sudden, Vader shows up, and then it's like somehow they were at the hut, almost being shot at, but now they're in the middle of the village, and the mom's there of the redhead kid that burnt down the hut on the outside of the. What the fuck is this story? I don't know. Somebody please help me because this is just horrible. Then Vader decides to just cut a piece of metal, which scares everybody away, except for this one kid who we still don't know if it's a boy or girl. I guess it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant to this irrelevant ass story that doesn't even like the story doesn't fucking matter. And then Vader just puts his hand up in the air. This kid's like, yeah, cool. The end. So yeah. So Dom,
we got 4 issues of this, right? We got 2 more to go.
Fucking more shit. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so Dom, I mean, like, for the guy that complains about how piss poor writing is, but how many of the covers did you buy?
I got all the covers.
Can I ask you something, Dom?
Yeah.
How do you complain about how piss poor the writing is, and then you proceed to spend your money and buy some of the most piss poor, like, out of those 3 stories, could you explain any of them and why any of them were written?
I have no idea why they were written. I have no idea. They wanted to throw stories out there of Vader, which made, you know what? They just wanted to throw these random stories out, which, I don't know.
I don't know why you bought it, though. Like, you're supporting the bad writing.
I like the covers. I like the covers.
I understand that, but you're supporting them, not like you complain about poor writing, but you're supporting the poor writing because that was hard to read and clip. I mean, honestly, that book is hard to read and clip. I make fun of like the Sana story and shit like that. It's not good, but that red, white, and black, like or black, white, holy. Please tell me, is there anybody in the chat that actually found that enjoyable? Because it is, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. Yeah, it's all bad. Yeah, it is. All right. I want to find the one person that thinks that book is like, that book should even be made. You know what I mean? Like, I admit, Dom, the covers are dope as crap, but like the insides of that book is just fucking hot trash. It's hot trash. All right, High Republic 10. This is cool. If you read the novel, like a couple people, right, Wayseeker?
Yes.
Dom? Yeah. Then you guys are really going to enjoy this. I like this because it does something that I don't think they've done, but they said they're doing. Hey, why? But Ronnie, why? You're supporting shit Star Wars. Like, go ahead.
You know, it's one of those things where
you tell me Dom read that novel?
No, Dom did not read the novel.
Okay.
I was trying to throw it in there because Jedi's using it as a fucking bookshelf or doorstop.
Listen, I'm just saying that I buy the books because I'm a completionist.
I don't even know where it is.
I want all 4 books. I want the covers. I'm not going for the variants, the big variants. That's the part which is good.
I know, Dom. You keep saying you're going to read these books, though. Read these novels. We need to get you back reading novels.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I think you'd be happier. I think you'd be happier with Star Wars. The chat right now, Thomas has been saying it. What was the other guy that Trev was saying it too? A couple of the other people also in the chat. If you're reading High Republic, Joe was saying it, you're enjoying Star Wars. It is the bright spot of Star Wars. And to be honest, we know Wayseekers could go, Phase 2 here in a minute. We all know it's going to happen, right? That's what he does. I get it. But the one thing I will give him is the continuity of the novels to the comics, and that whole linkage that they originally promised us. We understand that got a little screwed up in Phase 1, but even at its best of times, I was trying to think of this, even at its best of times, the side stories may be linked into the novel releases, but I went back and tried to figure out where the novel releases would go with the mainline Star Wars High Republic storyline in Phase 1, and it never teed up like this. This literally is giving us, from a certain point of view, the same story, and so it's giving us a different story, but the same story, which is super cool, especially if you like that type of stuff. Star Wars used to do it a lot in Legacy, and now they're doing it again, so I really appreciate this. This is Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree. This Star Wars is its best. I feel like this is where they're taking the best from Legacy and enhancing it in a way that it never was.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Nation? So here we go. We get back into the story. I cut out the first page because whatever, but we get the actual fight. This was described kind of in the novel from the point of view of Yanaro, right?
Yep,
yeah, am I seeing right?
Yep.
Yanaro.
Where she has to run away. Yep.
But she has to run away. So we didn't get to see all the action and everything that happened. We just saw little bits and overviews. But now we get to see it kind of from the perspective of Tay, the main characters of the book, Tay and Mac. You kind of see it through Tay, but not for. You get to the fucking dude, everything. The action fights with the Herald to the Nameless going in there and jumping on Tay and then jumping out, and then you get to see Ro. This is really good. She gets out the rage, and then what the Sith Gauntlet was doing. That thing's fucking badass, bro. I'll be honest, Dom. This Sith Gauntlet, if they make the Sith Gauntlet, let's say they price it at like $60, and it lights up and makes a crackling noise. You buying the Sith Gauntlet?
I probably will because I had the friggin' Lionel's Gauntlet when I grew up with the Thundercats when they came out with that.
That thing was badass.
I actually
you see the split apart now. This last page here where they're talking about leaving and everything, that was about 4 pages in the book where they only showed a brief part of it because they're not looking at it from that point of view. But you do see the Nameless going, or was it a chapter, whatever it was, Wayseeker, I can't remember.
Yeah, but the eyes, even there on that art from with build art, you see it just like how it just consumes him, and lightning comes out of his eyes. I love that art.
Super cool, man. So Mac is kind of a badass in this book finally, and Tay really gets to his full figure. Mac gives him the power hand, like, you know, remember when you had the He-Man and you had the one you could press the button and boom, he does that with the gauntlet and booms the shit out of Tay, who tries to get him to stop because he's about to kill the Herald. All of a sudden, he gets the flashback of the bad Sith guy, rips the head gauntlet off himself and throws it. Didn't make a lot of sense. Where the fuck did he throw it though? He did a
sense. Also, the friendship is magic was a little weak. Like, all I need is friendship to like get rid of this gauntlet.
Yeah, it's like that's like Care Bears and the friggin' Smurfs. All we need is friendship.
Right. I mean, well, I don't think that's what it was. I don't think that's what it was at all. I think he got the flashback of the bad guy and was like, shit, dude, I don't want to turn into that, and then kind of did his own thing, but whatever. So then you get the Herald like talking shit. Actually, it makes the Herald in the book there was parts where you were like, I want to know a little bit more. Like, is he a jackass? Because they kind of said he kind of was, but he wasn't. Here you're like, oh no, this guy's a fucking true believing asshole. Like they first portrayed him as somebody who was just trying to take over the cult, but no, he takes over the cult because he's a believer. And you see him get arrested. They kind of talk about, we know what happens to the other part of the staff. They eventually go in and steal it, but at least we got to see them put it away and stuff like that. It's stuff that they kind of glazed over in the novel, and they really gave us perspective in this. And then we get some goofy donkey picking up rocks and rebuilding while Mac's hugging Tay, which is whatever. That you can take that shit and leave it.
And the convocation, I thought that was pretty neat that they got Tay on the convocation just because he was a neutral bystander. What did he call him? A force. I forget the word he used. It.
Yeah, like friendship guy. But we knew that because of the novel. They did that.
Putting it.
They kind of did that in the novel though, so we knew that was coming anyhow. I mean, I guess they did.
Force botherer, is that what he called it? You're a force botherer. He was just
something like that.
I think that's a funny way of putting it. So yeah.
Well, you had a problem with the friendship is love thing, but then you like the little fucking we're gonna man hug and call each other cutesy names.
That's part of the arc. I just didn't think that a Sith artifact was going to be able to become overpowered because I'm your friend. But
I didn't think that's what did it, but okay.
That part bugged me because Sith artifact was involved, not because that's not who they were. I think their friendship is really strong. I just don't think the friendship is strong enough to overtake a Sith artifact. So,
all right, fair enough. I mean, I cut out the last 6 pages where they're just bromancing each other, but. And there's Broom Boy's broom now being towed by a droid. So there you go.
What do you think of this one, Jedi?
That was all right. I thought it was kind of sappy at the ending. You know, it kind of had this, okay, let's all get together for, I don't know. I guess you'd expect that. They all get together. We're gonna have the barbecue, so everyone's friends again. And okay, cool. What did they mean by? So this is the last one, right? Or no?
Well, this is the end of the arc. Yeah, yes, but it's also the beginning because it's the next part starts after this.
But not with these characters.
So, yeah, not with these characters.
So when you say the next part, are you talking phase 3, or are you talking about?
Well, phase.
Yes.
Isn't it phase 2B starts? Doesn't 2B start and then it goes?
Phase 2's done.
Done. So it's phase 1 is the beginning, and then phase 3 is the end.
So when does phase 3 start with the comics?
September.
Yeah, not for a while.
Oh,
so we're gonna have nothing but shit comics for a while.
We'll get some High Republic stuff we work on between, but yeah, no. I mean, so it's different though. Kevin Scott is known for ending comics and stories where everybody dies, and so I get that we can say the friendship is magic. This is not a normal Kevin Scott ending, and so I found that kind of be refreshing personally.
Yeah, it was a little bit different. I mean, once again, I thought the two characters of Tay and Mac were shit for the majority of it, anyways. So, but I did like how they filled in stuff from a different point of view on this last book.
There we go. That's 125 for this, right?
What?
There was no 1 in 25. It was just 3 regular covers.
There was a 1 in 25.
Yeah, it's this one on the right.
Middle one.
Oh yeah, that's what the glove.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it either because I'm not paying money for it. But it's a cool cover.
Cool cover.
So wait, what happened to and if you can just say I got to read the novel because I do still plan on reading it eventually.
No, go over this. Yeah, go ahead.
What happened to Olivia?
You got to read the novel.
You got to read the novel. Okay, all right.
She is part of the What happens with Olivia in the book happens after this comment. All I'll say is after this, she does something in the novel.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you'll like it. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on it when the audiobook comes out.
After I download it and listen to it.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. Yeah. A lot of people, there's a lot of fighting and lots of violence and stuff like that. You seem to like that type of stuff, and it was a lot of action. Didn't drag like some Star Wars books did. It didn't drag. The middle section you might not like as much, but again, the beginning and the end I think are pretty high stakes.
Yeah, this was a good run. This arc, it was good.
I thought it was good. Yeah,
I didn't hate it.
Nope.
like other Star Wars that I'm not reading anymore because
Sabe's dead. That was the end of
yeah,
Jedi.
I'm done. I'm done with Star Wars, man. I'm done. I'm gonna keep reading the New Republic, but that other stuff, I'm done with it. Screw it. It's terrible, all of it, including Sauna. Sorry, Wayseeker. It's terrible.
What if they come out with a C-3PO comic? Are you gonna get that one by?
Oh well, so they're coming out with the Dark Droids, right? So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't decided about the Dark Droid yet, but the cover that I really want is a 1 in 100, and you can only get it if you buy a certain package, and it's like a $300 package. So, yeah, I'm not getting it right away. That's for
Well,
sure.
speak about 1 in 100.
For which book?
Dark Droids.
The Dark Droid C-3PO Virgin
Yeah.
cover is a 1 in 100, and no.
There's a 1 in 100 coming out for issue 37 of Bounty Hunters, and I don't know what it is. So I got a feeling it's going to be another Boba Fett cover.
Dom's gonna be losing $500 off of that one. $500. Calling it right now, Dom. You better
Listen,
you better pick up some overtime.
I can't wait for those books to come out. I can't wait for Bounty Hunters to start.
Hey, listen, if you got a deal like you got why? We already saw what they're doing. It's nothing like you described.
Boba Fett's in it and Darren.
Yes.
That's words. Okay, next week, Dr. Aphra. I actually like these. Was it Lapuch Neo covers?
Oh,
I
what's
like
what
I like this cover a lot.
That's the 15th anniversary of the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah, right, but they're doing a couple of these, and they're really cool looking.
They are cool.
I will say this: Dom probably is going to get the Dr. Aphra Darth Maul one, and that one actually is not as bad as some of the other ones.
I like the other Maul.
Except he was barely in the movie. Like he should not be on a cover of Solo 5th anniversary.
You know why
he
he's
in the movie for 4 seconds?
You do know why he was in the movie, right?
I get why he was in the movie. I'm just saying
No. Do you know the real reason? Because he had said it. Obi Taylor had told us why he's in the movie.
Yeah, you've shared it before.
Son's favorite character, so he just threw him in at the end as a throwaway.
I'm just saying you don't put him on a cover of a Solo 5th anniversary because he wasn't in any part of the movie. It makes no sense, Dom. I get that you like these covers, but
no. Hey, hold on. Stop. Slow down. Who gives a shit? That cover actually looks good. Dom, I got you on this one. Dom, I got you on the. Hey, we didn't
get a Kira cover. We didn't get a Kira cover for the Solo 5th anniversary. Kira was way more important than
I like that cover. I like it. This guy reads the Santa book. Nobody reads that horse shit. This cover, good. I like it. And I do like the Clone War one. So
it makes no sense. We can have more Maul covers, but it does need to be on a Solo 5th anniversary.
Maul looks cool. Oh. Yeah, it can be. Go ahead, Jedi. What do you got? Oh, I thought you were just mad
that he can't get over Aphra's face. It's just something wrong with her face.
Oh, don't worry. Just wait till you see the FOC. Santa, nobody, Jedi has refused to read anything that's not High Republic anymore. And when pressed on this book, he said, I definitely won't be reading this horse shit. So this is going to be fun.
Even though it has my girl in it. See, I'm not reading it.
I do actually like once again, it's the same artist that did the middle one where she's getting choked. Kind of dig it. So I don't know why both covers are her fighting somebody.
I hope she doesn't get the best of Lamp Pop. I hope
Normally I'm all about chicks choking each other, but no, not doing it.
You'll be choking your chicken.
Oh my God, Dom. She's gonna smack you again.
You're gonna have to review this one without me. So sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna be suspended.
I am.
What is this? What do we know about Doctor's parents? What are the Dr. Aphra parent? Oh, we could go over that. Blue Beetle. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the dad's around all the fucking time. There's actually a great story arc with him.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, this book's garbage. Speaking of disappointing, something. Why do you like everything that's just disappointing, Wayseeker? His favorite, the Dank Nass or Dong Danks or Dank,
like
nobody cares.
Gang Dank's better than me.
Gang Danks, no, I know. You were high on Gang Dankers. But it's sad. It's really sad to see what Dark Horse is doing because Sav was such a badass character in IDW and in the manga is a badass again. And by the way, well, we'll talk about that later. We might want to keep looking into that book because it seems like she's got her foot in a lot of things, in a lot of time zones, and a lot of areas. That Sav character, that's one you should probably look at. But we'll see if that hits our High Republic key list that we're going to be talking about later. If we should buy it or not. But we get this next week. Hopefully it's better. I doubt it. They've made it too goofy. I don't think it's attached just to kids, and I don't know who the fucking audience is for this shit because it ain't anybody. I don't know.
I don't know either. I the only thing that this book has going for it is I think the print run is going to be 0 because it's been delayed multiple times, and I don't know. I think this one might be one of the
but just something. But hey, this is to keep it for perspective. Yeah, every once in a while you can get away with trash and low print run, but when it's this bad of garbage, I don't even think low print runs can save it for interest. We'll see. We will see.
I do like the connecting covers, so that's why I like these ones because they're all
that is
together.
Cool.
They look pretty cool together.
All right, Jedi, here you go. How do you like the Pride cover for Afra?
It's not as bad as that other one, but it's kind of.
Well, the same artist did the main cover, so you probably don't like that Joker smile that she's got there either. Once again, though, I love.
Which one are we looking at? I think you said the Pride one.
Yeah, the Pride one I think sucks.
That was the third one.
Pride was the third one. First one's the A cover. That's the same A cover that's coming out.
I'm surprised you put Vader on the cover of Pride.
Why? She has a connection with Vader.
I know, I'm just saying, but I'm just surprised that they because usually the Pride covers have the characters that are basically
She looks like,
She looks like what, Jedi?
Well, I was gonna say when I first saw that, I guess I knew it was. I guess I knew that it was Afra, but at first I was like, "Is that Tico Rose's sister, the one that died?"
Yeah, it does look like that, right? But then it says Afra right there. At least Afra's on the cover of her own book, so
that's amazing. We always talked about that. It was great.
Yeah, at least that's what we got. But I like the Isla Secura cover. I think that's bad. That Marquez variant is fucking badass, bro.
It's good. It's good.
I actually think those covers are going to be the ones.
Oh shit! I just noticed. You guys are going to love this. Look at they got the mountain peaks are popping out. So for all you,
you just noticed that
basement boys. No, it's not something.
I ordered 10 of them for that very reason.
Yeah, it's not typically what. That's not typically. Cartoon boobies is not what. It's not a fetish of mine. So
hey, Jedi, remember the meme?
Which one?
The one with her. I thought you said the matches the.
Oh, was that? I can't remember.
Okay, so there we go. Good sidebar. Either way,
it kind of looks like maybe it is maybe it's the push-up bra. But when I first saw that, I was thinking that looks like a Dark Horse cover to me, kind of.
Yeah, don't worry. Disney wants to de-boobicize her anyway, so don't worry about it.
What are you talking? This is coming out. This is on FOC, bro.
They took the cleavage away from Leia on a freaking Lego piece. I know. I'm just
it's
saying.
For kids.
Yeah, there's appropriate stuff for different people, man.
I know.
I was actually just looking at the details, like, wow, this is very detailistic.
Get mad about everything, Dom. About Legos. It's Legos. It's not a comic.
You should be mad that you're gonna buy this horseshit book.
But look, that first cover looks pretty cool.
I'm telling you, they all look pretty cool, but I'm not.
Look, the story. Look, you could never judge a book by its cover. I'm judging it by the cover because I like the covers. There you go.
Yeah, no, I get that. I understand that, but like, there has to be a give and take where you just say, I just don't understand the mindset of like, we're gonna do that, but we're never gonna say like, okay, we're done supporting garbage. We're gonna say we want change, but then we're gonna buy a bunch of this.
Let me ask you a question now. See. We call this garbage. I guarantee there's going to be another book, another character is going to have this treatment. They're going to keep doing the characters.
Because people you buy these fucking covers and don't read the books. You're right, Dom. Thank you for proving my point. We cannot. I complain about this.
In the middle.
Don't buy this. I read it at the bookstore. Put it fucking back on the shelf.
Dom, there's way too much Vader crotch on that one in the middle. Don't buy it.
There is. Yeah. Too much codpiece there for sure.
And look, the way he's holding the lightsaber too.
Yeah. But Dom, you're 100% right. You just stated the question I'm asking you. Why would you put up with it? I don't. So I know Jedi doesn't because Jedi told us ahead of time he's not buying
But
this.
every
shit.
person that doesn't buy this book, there are 10 people that are buying this book. That's the thing.
That's not true.
No, that's not true.
That's
No,
probably
that's
not true, but
It's
No, yeah,
so
'cause-
not true. It's not like
At
90%
the last con I was
of
at,
Americans buying this book and one
dude.
10% isn't.
Yeah,
For every one person that doesn't buy it, 5 people buy it. There you go.
no. What we just had number 2 come out this week. Last week at the con, number 1 was in dollar bins. It was in fucking dollar bins. When was the last time?
Tom thinks 90% of America buys comic books. That's what he thinks.
Oh. I thought he was okay. Listen, I think Dom was saying in the comic book community of people who buy comic books, 90%.
They aren't buying. Most people aren't buying this because it's.
This is what I will disagree. Yes, it will not.
Right.
All right. That was supposed to be a picture of something, and it's not there because it says Random House image of a comic. So whatever that FOC is, you guys should probably figure it out.
What's the link there?
I don't know.
All
right, cool. Please don't support this. Please don't support Red, White, and especially because people don't read it. Yeah, why does he get a slit? Wow. Jerome, there you go. Not going to repeat it, but yeah. Wow, we're having Frank and Bean's comments here too. Good job, chat. And I see the source as big as mine.
I don't know.
Okay, Buffy guy, we get it. He's getting one. It reset, but he's getting one. All right. All right, that's the last one. So that's what it's going to be. A slow comic weeks coming up here, in a couple weeks for sure. For sure.
Once we get through the High Republic, there's really.
Well, that's the other part too. Once we get out of High Republic, like, how good is that though? How good is that they finally tailor? One of the things, there is something we have complained about that they fixed. They started making it where we're seeing from a certain point of view from different characters, and High Republic is actually like they said it was going to be. So we got to have a lot of. I mean, we saw it in the chat. I think if you go other places and consume Star Wars content, not the like fake rumor shit, but if you consume like chat boards where they talk about it, it gets a lot of love. So I think they're doing a great job. Let's get into the next section. Let's review the manga so we can get out of here for the holiday week and cut it a little bit short after we do the High Republic keys you should either buy or pass on. Yeah.
That's where we're going?
See, Thomas reads. You can tell he reads because the cool's hat. We can have both. We can have cool covers and good books. And by the way, before we go to this, I'm not telling you Dr. Afro is going to suck because they're going back to the Luke and Vader stories, which is not like, if you remember, if you look at all the volumes, when they do the Vader stories and even the Luke stories with Afra and then the family arcs,
really good.
Those are the best. Those are the best parts. So maybe we got something going for us there. All right, let's get into Edge of Balance. I called some place up there. I was like, hey, did you get this in and read the whole title? They go, oh, you're right. We did get it. I'm like, how did you not know you got it in? Well, you named the title, right? I was like, it's not hard. Wayseeker told me in the chat. So,
yeah, that's right. All right. This is.
I can't, Jerome. If you know anything, I can't do that. I don't. That when it gets that crude, I don't give it a bell. Or I liked your comment. I just don't repeat it or give it a bell when it gets to the point of crudeness.
It's basic. This one is basically a graphic novel, probably a 3-part comic, I would say, maybe 4. It's between the two if you were actually reading it. So, it's not very long. It takes you about 30 minutes to make your way through the book.
Well, it's a flashback and a present time, and like it linked up. I think it linked up both phases pretty nicely.
It did, and I think Daniel Jose Older did a really good job doing that. So, and it does a much better job than the first 2 that came out.
The first 2. This by far, once again, this is a book that links all the stuff together. So I thought it was really cool how they feed it in and stuff like that. So
yeah. So the main characters, there's 4. You got young Arkov or older Arkov. Arkov's the main character. He was one of the main characters in the first 2. He was leading the temple on Bianchi. His master, who's no longer needs, but the one who's in there is Master Ravna and her droid ZZ-10. We can talk about her, but she was really cool. Then another main character we've seen in a bunch of different stuff from Path of Deceit, Path of Vengeance, also Quest of the Jedi, has been Aslan Rel. We've seen him in the comics and in the books. And then the final fourth main character is Volgarat, who's a was it Hatch? Is that what they call these?
Yeah, Hatch. Yeah. How fucking badass is that?
Yeah.
Like, this is something I kind of didn't want to let go, but earlier when the guy's like, oh, they need bad guys, that's what I'm telling you about the High Republic. They introduced this new bounty hunter badass motherfucker, and the dude's a badass. I mean, like, they did him right, dude. It was really cool. Remember the one in Clone Wars? And you're like, oh shit, he's kind of creepy and like a little bit of a badass. But this guy was what Dom wanted Boba Fett to be. Like, ruthless, never ending, scheming. Even if he gets like knocked down, he gets back up again. No, right? It is.
You just had to do that, though.
I'm just saying, like,
poking the bear, and you just like,
I'm not poking the bear. I'm letting the people know this is what Dom dreams of Boba Fett being. But the Hatch was it, man. The Hatch was badass.
Oh,
he was looking for fights, dude. He got beat and then was like, oh hell, I'm not taking that L.
Yeah.
And then he spent 150 years still trying to go whoop some old lady's ass.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that's going to take 150 years and goes, where's this old broad at? I'm going to beat her to oblivion. Like, that's some strong ass will, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So I cut up quite a bit of this book just so, you know, I thought it was really good. It was a really great story. And so you can catch it home. So basically it starts in phase 1. At the end, right at Starlight goes down. If you remember in Edge of Balance 2, the Nihil comes as Starlight goes down and takes on Bianchi. And we don't know why they're going on this random planet to try to take over this temple. And we find out later why they were so interested in this planet Bianchi. It's something that Marchion Ro had been searching for quite some time. So it opens,
Marchion looking bad as shit, by the way.
It opens there with Marchion, and then you see the person behind him, which you're not sure who it is at first, and then you find out it is the bounty hunter.
The Hatch.
The Hatch, and he's like,
this was what you could find in comic book shops. It's a manga. Could you show him Wayseeker real quickly? I'll put you on I don't have mine with me.
This.
Yeah, that'll be it. So it's like this little thing. Yeah, open it, flip through it so they can see. Actually, these are scans from the book. We scanned it. Yeah, so it's just like a little black and white thing. Real easy to read.
Yep.
Okay, Go ahead.
And so they have a partnership because Hatches live forever, like hundreds and thousands of years. They just don't die. And so he's the only person that knows what Marchion is looking for. We don't exactly know what it is. He says here, I remember I'm the only one that knows what it looks like. And so we're like, what are they looking for? We weren't quite sure. And so they start digging things up. And as they dig things up, they find this droid ZZ-10, who is holding, and it's attached to what we later find out to be a book. And he's like, goes and says, oh yeah, I remember you. You were that droid way back then. And so they start having this conversation, and everybody's like, come on, Marchion needs in a hurry. And it's like, I don't work for Marchion. I don't care about Marchion. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to listen to the story. And so we get the story of ZZ-10 talking about their first encounter 150 years ago on Dulna. So
Jerome, I think Jerome's got a point. He has a point. We need Hondo in comics. I'm gonna start petitioning for that. I got it. You're right.
I mean,
okay.
To be fair, these are the High Republic are the first new manga stories that we've ever gotten. We've always got like Lost Stars in manga form or Rebels in manga form.
No, you don't, Thomas. You don't need to. You could just read this, and it's a standalone story. It actually gives you a little bit of backs. Actually, this story is an original story that we'll link it in at the end to show you maybe some of the books from the phase 1 to read comic wise. I hope that's what we're going to do, Wayseeker. But no, you could. It's a standalone.
Yeah. You don't need the other two. This one's way better than the other ones. If you like it, you can go back and do whatever. So then they go back to
the other two. What was the other two? The other two was. So
they're both on Bianchi. They're both with Arkov and Lily. The first one involves the Dren gear.
Oh,
right?
Fuck. Oh, so fucking bad.
And the second one is the Nihil come and capture Bianchi right before this.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it had a lot to do with like Lily's little kid Padawans that kind of really distracted the story because it was all
you definitely, hey, Thomas, 1,000%. You don't have to read those other two. They're kind of shit. They're shit.
But it does make sense about why this story helps us understand why the Nihil was so interested in this random planet because they knew the thing they were looking for was most likely on this planet. So
yeah.
That's the only thing you need from the first two stories. So we get back there and we talk about Dalna about 150 years ago, and this is where they first met. And we get
now this is the time of phase 2, which we're currently in right now, where we've got all the hands, the path of the hands, people and shit. So
we see a young Archov here, full of rage, not nearly as cool as he is in phase 1 and as a master. He's just graduated to a Jedi Knight, and he's on Dalna with his old master, Ravna there, and also with his good friend, Aslan Rel. And so,
you know, if you laugh, the girl, the woman, right? She doesn't look like a Looney Tunes character, like the old.
She does.
Yeah.
Right?
Never has her eyes open either.
Yeah.
Never has her eyes open.
Someone's never fucking has her eyes open.
Get it? Looks like Tweety's and Sylvester's grandma lady.
Yeah.
But she is awesome. She has some great panels in here, which I didn't clip them all because I couldn't clip the whole book. And so while they're on Dalna, they encounter.
It's straight up MAGA. This is 100% canon.
100% canon. 100%. Yeah. They encounter the hatch there because the hatch is part of the path of the open hand.
Hold on, he gets it. Jesus. Thank you. I already got a petition going. Me and my mom are first on the list. Fucking Jesus. All right, you get it. Okay. All right. Okay.
So good. So good.
Eyes closed, my kind of woman. That was the one thing that did kind of annoy me, the eyes closed thing. I do like how, like, after 100 years, 150 years, though, the fucking hatch is still like, I'm going to kill this old bitch.
Well, no, he knows she's dead. He knows he can't kill her.
Yeah, kind of. No, because he said something about her, like,
he was just mad. He was just mad because she was like the first Jedi who he felt like was a worthy opponent.
Yeah. He wanted to find her and kill her.
Because you get to see like, so Archov drops his lightsaber and like she goes up and gets it, and in the motion she goes vroom 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 and just like destroys like 100 of the path of the open hand people.
Yeah, she fucks up the path of the open hand. Like she ain't following the save them rule. She just killing them. So.
No, she just kills everything in sight in one motion. And then the Nameless shows up, as they do on Dalna there, and Archov is really affected by it, and she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you in the water?" And she's affected in a different way. Most of the other Jedi, they're terrorized, they're just so fearful of the Nameless. She's drawn to it. It like compelled her forward, and she's like completely mesmerized by this thing which she cannot feel the Force, which I thought was really cool way of like talking about her connection to the Force, because it was different than everybody else.
This is like the third different way we've seen people react to this too, because there is throughout the novels we've seen it too, where some of them they can get themselves into the mindset of it not being real too, which is interesting. It's very interesting how this is gonna pan out eventually.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And so here you see her with the Nameless right in front of her, and she's just like kissing it. She's just so mesmerized by it, and ultimately it turns her into dust. She dies. But at the same time that this is happening, something psychotraumatic happens to Aslan, where like he gets affected by the Nameless, and also in a different way, where all he can see around him is the Nameless, even if the Nameless aren't around him.
But this happened before too to some of the other ones that survived in phase 1, just not to this level.
Not to this level.
Yeah.
And so like all it like connects with him. And like it lives in him and through him. And so here, the Nameless isn't around, but this is what he sees. He sees the Nameless at all times. And so after the battle is over, they go and they look for Ravna, and all they find is the lightsaber. And Archov's like, "She taught me you can never drop your lightsaber," so he knows that she's dead. The droid doesn't understand that because it's a droid. So the rest of this main part of the story then switches mainly to Aslan Rel and like how he copes with this nameless and what happens to him because of it. So here you get Tay and you get Vildar trying to help him talk about this creatures, and so but they can't. And all you also you see the Hatch saying, "Wow, there was something that was able to destroy the Jedi that made them suffer. I saw her die, and now I'm so intrigued about finding what the nameless are. I want to do whatever it can to take the nameless." So he knows like he's got to figure out the people that were affected by the nameless and learn about the nameless as much as he can. So it makes him really interested in Aslan. So everybody goes after Aslan. All Aslan can do is just write this journal. He just writes over and over and over again about the nameless in some weird script language that nobody knows.
It's like a hieroglyphic thing, but he keeps repeating that same thing you saw it before, where it's like Hasharak Sharik.
But it's more than that because pages are missing and they need those pages. So,
eventually they risk here. Yeah, I know what you're getting at. But no, he's doing that thing where he's like, we've seen it before in movies and stuff, where like somebody starts tripping out after they've been possessed by a ghost or something, and they like start talking in tongues and at the same time draw pictures. That's pretty much what he's doing. But the Hatch finds him and rips out like the middle section, which it plays into it later. So does this journal, by the way. That's why we're making a big deal out of it.
Yep.
So, you know.
So yeah, he goes after him. He wants to find information. He finds Aslan is he makes no sense. So, and also he just leaves them. He leaves the journal there. You see the pages there in the right corner. They've been ripped out. The journal's there. So at the same time, Arkav gets sent to the Jedi Temple and talks about the nameless.
Well, he goes there. He goes there to try to like talk about what happened to his master because the droid's like, let's just go and find her, and he's like, no, I need to go talk to them and tell them what I saw and what's happened to me and everything.
Yeah.
So,
and so here you get you get Creighton's son, who we haven't seen in the comic appearance. You get Master Ren, who we haven't seen in comics yet. You get that part where they're talking like, we got to hide everything about the nameless from one of those books that we talked about earlier. We don't want anybody to know about the nameless. Arkav then goes and like tries to figure out what happened to Dolna, and he finds out everything has been deleted. He's like, well, that's weird. We need to know what happened on it. So he's like, okay, I got to go talk to my friend who was there, who saw the nameless. And when he goes and he sees Aslan, Aslan can't see his friend as anything except for the nameless. So like he's imagining Arkav there.
Well, that doesn't mean, but it's a nightmare. This happened before in a couple people in phase 1 kind of saw the same thing. So, but this is weird too, because eventually he towards the end here, eventually he does see, he understands that the nightmare that he's seeing is his buddy. So,
right.
Which is something that we didn't see in phase 1, but we're starting to see here, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So while they're there, the
Leveler.
The Heart comes and tries to steal Aslan. Arkav comes and he sees that everybody's down. They get in a fight. Again, Arkav is no match at this point, again, for the Heart. He's just way cooler and way stronger. But Aslan is just in such a traumatic space that he like uses the Force to just make everything just destroyed around him. So you get this kind of ball of energy that just destroys everything. And so Arkav then takes him back and says, I'm going to let you rest. I'll come check on you in a few days. He comes back in a few days, and Aslan's gone. Just disappeared. Arkav can never figure out what happens to him, but he realizes that the Hearts didn't take him. We have no idea what happens to him. We'll come back to what.
So, John, they give I know you're probably joking, but the nameless have 3 different names. There's the Leveler. The Great Leveler is a certain type, but there's the Leveler. So they call him the nameless, and then they call him like what we'll
the
say
Sharik,
Sharik, Shirok, the one, the like whatever the fuck that translates to. So
he's on that meth.
What? He's on that.
So Arkav then realizes that this journal is all he has, and so his mission in life is to decipher this journal that's in this script that nobody knows how to use, and so he uses ZZ-10. To be the one that deciphers him. And so that's why ZZ-10 gets buried under the temple, basically with cables, so that all the thing that ZZ Team can do is take this journal, and
to hide it too. Isn't it ironic that he was making a big deal of like why all the stuff was wiped out, and then he's like, "Oh shit, we do need to pretty much hide and wipe out all remnants of this," and then buries the.
Well, I don't think he trusts the Jedi because the Jedi hid it. So he's like, I can't take this to the Jedi because the Jedi.
Oh, I don't think that's the case. I think he hid it because he does understand how powerful it is too.
Well, that might be true too, but I think it's both because I think he realized that something was wrong with the Jedi for hiding it.
So for now on, we'll refer to it as the Nameless and also Bob.
Bob. Yeah, Bob's good. And so basically, that 150 years that he's on Bianchi, his job is to keep that sector safe so that this droid can decipher Aslan's journals. But they don't have the missing pages. And so they're like, we really need to find the missing pages. So he's also looking for those missing pages from the journal.
This book by the way, this book, for those people that don't know, is getting slow buzz, but it's also overlooked by a lot of not like hardcore fans. So pick it up now. If you're going to pick it up, I would if I were you.
So then it flashes forward again, and the Harch and the droid are going on there. The droid was like trying to stall as much as possible because he wanted to let Arkov know that the Harch was here. So that's why they get through this long story. And after the story's over, the droid says, well, I've actually been improved. I got all these weapons that they left me with just in case something like this happened. And so, you get a big fight scene. The Harch, though, can't be killed. And so after the fight scene, the Harch survives. And so the droid says, well, I'm going to self-destruct, and I have this other mechanism to make sure that you don't get the journal that you're looking for. And so it's like the only thing I'd hoped is that, Aslan's message would have been complete and I would have been able to save my wishes. And so right as he's about to self-destruct, of course, Arkov comes. Arkov saves the day. I actually don't know if he kills the Harch, but he pretty much wipes out. And
I don't think he's dead.
I don't think he's dead either, but he ends up winning the battle. Finally, 150 years later, he's much stronger, saves the droid, and then you see Sav come down and says, hey, I'm ready to fight, and it's already over.
How the fuck long is Sav going to be alive, too, now is what I'm wondering. I don't know how long that species survives, but between her, the Wookiee, and then this Hatch, all three characters seem to be around for fucking ever. So
forever. Yep. Yeah. So that's basically the story that you get there. What's so interesting, and I had Marco pull these up. The missing pages from the book we've actually seen in the comics. So we know that somewhere along the line, Marchion Ro was able to track down those missing pages. And he actually passed on those missing pages to Ultrasound. This doofus or whatever from Trail of Shadows, who ultimately gets captured and then hands over those missing pages. As you can see here, he says these are come from an ancient Jedi who had been studying the Nameless, and they can't decipher them. So now some Jedi have those missing pieces. Will Arkov realize that the Jedi have those missing pieces? We'll find out. That's going to probably be part of, I'm guessing, part of Phase 3 is. Will there be a connection here?
Which is cool. I mean, I really like this. I like this series right here. And that was one of the links up for, was it Thomas? What was the name of the series again? It was a 5-part series. Trails of Shadows.
Trail of Shadows. This is one of the best.
You should read that. And you should be picking them up right now. You can find a couple of them.
Yeah. Again, they're not like they're important comics, but it's just a good read. Like
I think it is. I think it is in the long run because they put a lot of stuff out there like this that you see that I think we're going to see kick back in. Plus, one of them has a Nameless in it anyhow. So, all right, cool.
Yep. So that's basically the story. It's all about the journal. And
all right, let's get to the Wayseekers asking us quiz questions like he always does in books.
Is it the best? I know Marco doesn't think it's a comic. This is up there, as in the best High Republic comic series for me.
It's the best. First off, it's not a comic book series, so that doesn't count. This is the best manga by far. It is.
It's like a graphic novel manga.
Yeah,
kind of. It. I'll tell you this: the linking that they've done between the comic book series, novels, and this is what I was hoping High Republic would be, and I think that's where we're seeing the success of it, and that's why it's holding popularity with Star Wars fans. So,
But if you like High Republic, pick this up.
Yeah, you'll like this.
It's a quick read. You need it's a necessary moving forward to Phase 3 too. I really think a lot of these themes are going to show up in Phase 3.
Well, they already linked them to Phase 1. I would assume Phase 3 too. But also, this, like I said, this book is it's popular. So
it is. It's taken a lot. Because mangas are loved, and this is actually the first good manga. Like,
yeah,
it really is.
I remember everybody hyped the Japanese one that Jedi hates, but
yeah,
this one by far is way better.
But to me, like Master Ravna, I know you really like Roke from the Nameless Terror.
Yeah,
Master Ravna was one of the cooler characters that we've gotten introduced in Phase 2, and so I would think of it like I want her backstory. I want to know.
I think they've done enough. I think they've done enough with her. She's dead anyways. Plus, she never opens her eyes. Don't want any more story on her. Nope.
I want more story on her.
Well, that's not going to happen. So thank God.
All right. What happened to Aslan Rel? Who took Aslan Rel? Is my question.
Did he turn to dust?
I don't think anybody took him. I think he disappeared. Well, either the hatch took him or he just ran.
I don't think so.
Think he turned to dust?
Nope.
All right. What do you think, Wayne Seeker? Let's stop playing.
I think Yoda took him or Master Ren.
Well, now you're saying two different people.
Well, the council, the people of the council, the people that wanted to keep it safe, they're the ones that took him. And I think we've seen Aslan in Phase 1. Aslan shows up in a Jose Older book in Phase 1.
Yeah, I mean, fine.
So he shows up. I'm gonna read something here. All right.
Oh, good. Here he goes.
You know, I gotta do my story time with
one sentence out of 1,000 fucking sentences.
No. So at Midnight Horizon, remember that book?
Yep.
With Crash.
All people that don't know that Wayseeker highlights shit in books, so they can go back and sometimes try to fucking pigeonhole square pegs into circle holes.
Can you just
go ahead?
So at the end of the book, you remember the battle turns at the end of Midnight Horizon because Yoda comes down, right?
Right.
Yoda comes down, saves the day. Everybody's like, "Where you been, Yoda? You haven't been anywhere in Phase 1."
I remember this.
That's really weird. Yoda been gone.
Yep.
Yoda comes back, not alone. Yoda comes back with somebody, a hooded figure. We are told at the end of that battle.
It's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, we don't think it's Luke Skywalker. And so it says this. It says a little off to the side. And again, this is also a Jose Older novel. So these are all connecting to Jose Older. That strange hooded figure sat, singing as always. It goes on here. The figure never showed their face, never spoke to anyone, just sang a sad little dirty over and over in a raspy whisper. They'll do what they can. They'll do what they must. It was time to go. There was no turning away from the Jedi Order, no running. It talks about Zine. And all they hear is the song, is this person singing. But when they do find you, all you'll be is dust.
But he's not the only guy that said that. But he's not the only guy that said that. Anybody, that's what I was saying about any of the people who were affected. I'm not saying, that it's probably a high likelihood it is, but any of the people who have been affected by that say the exact same thing.
I know they have one, but this is the character that is in the whole day. Again, if it wasn't the same author, I wouldn't be so certain about that. But again, Yoda brings somebody back, and he brings back Aslan. So has Aslan been trapped in some sort of state for this very long time? Is to keep him away from everybody else, and they had to Yoda had to break him out. I don't know, but I think we will see more Aslan Rel in Phase 3, and we will find out what happened and where Aslan has been. Because Yoda, I think, had been storing him away, and brought him back out.
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the thing where they're going to do like Yoda, trying to figure out what the council is hiding, and I mean, that's cool. I like it. Like I said, I think it's I think High Republic's really good. Jedi, are you going to read this or no?
I don't know. I mean, Wayseeker, there are 6 questions on this slide. What the hell? You ever go like you're at a seminar and they have a PowerPoint up there and there's like all this stuff and you're like, oh God, I gotta sit through. Oh my God.
This is who I am. Jedi.
No, I mean, I'll agree. Hey, I've already cut through two of them fast. Yeah. I've already cut through them fast. We don't need the backstory. And like, yeah, okay, but
I think Ravena's a cool character. But hey, that's personally me.
she never opened her eyes and she went to kiss the Nameless. That's the fucking beginning and end of that story.
Such a cool Jedi. She was able to just wipe everybody out and was way stronger than everybody else.
Boba Fett? Where? That's the same thing you got with that one right there.
No.
You got 2 minutes of her trying to kiss the Nameless. Get out of here.
Whatever.
All right.
So how did Martian?
Whatever. Take notes. Highlight that.
How do you think Martian got those pages? I have no idea, but like he was able to track down those pages.
Because I told you that the Hatch wasn't dead.
But the Hatch didn't have them. The Hatch didn't have them. Yeah, the Hatch isn't dead, but the Hatch had him before this because the story takes place before what happens there.
The Hatch ripped out 3 pages,
but left them.
No, I don't think he left them.
Oh, he left them. It's right here on the ground.
He has them right here. And then, no, go back.
Right there. The pages are ripped out.
There's more pages that are ripped out. Probably go. Because he rips those. But then if you go back to the flashback, they said go when they couldn't find the pages. They said he ripped it out and took them.
No, he didn't say he took them. He just said he ripped them out, and they don't know what happened to him. So I think Martian. I'll be interested to see if that comes into it. I wonder if that Duros Master Ren, who was introduced in Path of Vengeance, is the character that's going to be important to Phase 2. We talked about this last week. Who's the character that Kevin says is going to be important to Phase 3 that was introduced in Path of Vengeance? We've now seen Master Ren in Path of Vengeance, and in this one, talking with Yoda, talking with Creighton's son. My guess is that Master Ren is going to be the important character. And then lastly, here we go. We got Creighton's son, important character, first appearance, right here. I know y'all laughing.
No, I know
Okay.
I know Marco's not going to put Jerome's comment up, but it was funny.
I'm definitely not putting his up, but it was funny.
It is.
All right. Here we go. Once again, I don't give a shit about what Scott said. Let's just get to Phase 3. We're doing a great job. I mean, like every guy always says shit like that. Aaron says it all the time. Kevin said it before. Yeah, I mean, that character too, by the way, that you're talking about. Wait, were you talking about? Yeah, Rel.
Ren. I think Ren's the important character.
Oh, Ren. I'd rather have Rel than Ren. Ren sucks.
But Rel's been in other things, so it's not a Kevin's character. It wouldn't fit.
Hey, listen. This is what I'm telling you, though. You over, and this is where Jedi kind of got right. You sit here and you put together these 5 things. I appreciate all the work you do, but here we go. That's like Santa. Nobody gives a shit about these characters. But then you're like, well, Kevin Scott said that it's an important. It doesn't fucking matter.
What me is Wayseeker has read all the books. He's done all this homework, and he's asking me where I think Marshawn got those pages. I don't freaking know where he got the damn pages.
Hey, listen, you
read it?
Who's the guy Ren again? The guy Ren. Who's that?
It's the go back, show the picture of him. Where's his bald ass head?
Right here. This guy.
Hey, do you think that's the where the Knights of Ren got the name?
No, it's RINN.
Oh, okay.
No, and I don't think it fucking. What I'm saying is like I don't think it's up to the fucking creators of these characters if it's good or not. Because Calvin Scott said that one of the biggest bads of all time we'll see Phase 1, first half of the section, and that was the Drangear, and that shit fucking sucked. So your question to number 2 is, do we care about this? No, because this character does seem to suck already.
I will be interested to see what happens. I'm not going to share a theory yet because I need to do some more work on it.
Wayseeker, you're suspended.
I got some more. You can suspend me all you want. I got some work to do on this Ren character. So anyway.
No, I mean I get it, but you go into some of the like. This just isn't the shit that I'm like this is. I rather see the continuity between like the stuff that I'm enjoying already, where you see the continuity and then linking up all the stories together. I'm okay with that's what I want. I like. Oh, Kevin Scott told us we're gonna have a Nito Speedo Laguido character that's gonna be in Phase 3. Yeah, which one? Like, I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. I don't care because he's told us he's had cool characters before, and they've really just blah. So
I enjoy putting the pieces, trying to put the pieces together, the breadcrumbs that they leave us, and trying to see where they might lead.
Yeah, but once again, it's them like over. It's the Donny Kate factor, right? Overselling his own product, right? I don't know. So
Yeah.
I'm going to read
Anyway.
this, and I'm going to come on, and I'm going to say, Wayseeker, have you read this?
If you read this book,
The best thing. Have you read this?
Oh man. Anyway, no, it's good. I highly recommend this one.
Oh, I'm
This is a great
suspending him
story.
next week, JJ.
Yeah. You're not doing a review though, so that's fine.
Hmm.
It was good, and it was, I think, a really important tying together phase 1 and phase 2. So it was kind of neat that they put it at the very end for that very reason. So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, like I said, I think we both like the book for different things. I'm extremely. I don't know why JJ's salty in the chat, but yeah, I just don't like the little whatever.
He didn't like me raising my voice to Wayseeker. I think that's what.
No, I mean you have a valid point, but that's like Dom buying book covers for no reason and not reading the inside. Like it's his thing, so that's what he gets down with. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I thought it was way more memorable and together than the other two. I do think that it's a high probability that the crazy guy Rel is going to be there with Yoda, and that's actually going to be kind of cool. I just wish it wasn't Yoda. I wish Yoda. Can I say this without getting hated on too? I just wish Yoda wasn't so important in High Republic. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing that I'm. So when you're like, yeah, he's going to be here, and I could see all the breadcrumbs are leaving. He knows where the planet is. He already knows about all the. And he's going to be the one putting all the pieces together in phase 3. You know what I mean? And I just wish that because we got so many good and new characters, that maybe we just kind of.
It's kind of hard not to make Yoda that character, though, with how much they built Yoda's lore and how old he is and how he's the Grandmaster. I get what you're saying, but they'd have to go back way further in the past for that to happen.
Yeah, I have no problem reading there
Yoda was
Burger
Grogu.
King. No, yeah, I mean, I get it, but once again, I think unfortunately, I think Cav Scott has been he surprised us with one of his, because he did Dooku Lost. He really did surprise us with that, getting out of the genre he's used to. But during High Republic, you see him fall back into the same like writing tropes that he did before, especially through comics. And to say that they've been disappointing, like I like him when he does his Halloween stuff, but like I don't want to see that every day, right? Like that's just not it. And then like the last thing he did say, like I know you're high on him saying, "Oh, this character is very important." I get that, but the last thing he said was very important was the dang gear, and how did that work out? I mean, that was a shit show. It was a shit show.
Overall, Kevin has been really strong. That the High Republic run was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Path of Vengeance.
Oh, wait a minute, it was, but then you just said that that shit wasn't good, and this shit here, the Olders is the best. Like,
and I didn't like the friendship is magic. That didn't do it for me. But overall, I enjoyed it. I
thought that the first full 6 issues were dog shit in that series, and where it's tough to read. The last 4 issues were exceptionally better. But that's like once again one of the faults, because one of the faults with phase 1 was the fucking first 8 or 10 drain gear bullshit stuff. So like, is it perfect? No. Okay, it's not perfect, but is it good? Yes. Does it? I think it takes some of the blow when we get all this linkage. Like, it's tough because I know that a lot of people don't read at all like we do, right? Like when you read it, it's very enjoyable, but it's very immersive too, where we got this. Like, this is why I think we kind of give Dom a hard time. We want him to get back to when he was a little bit younger and he got really immersed in the whole world of Star Wars, right? Not just like start niche parts. And for High Republic, it's very enjoyable to do that. And it's probably the best that they get. So,
John, what do you expect? I hate Santa Claus.
He hates Santa Claus. He hates anything that brings joy to people's lives.
What do you think?
Why do you think he nitpicks these little lines and asks, "Do you think this character is going to be super duper super cool?" It's like the biggest nitpicky thing. Yeah, of course he does. Of course he hates friendship.
Yep.
So
looks like
Care Bears wasn't your thing.
What's that?
The Care Bears
wasn't his thing.
Yeah, we care. We care. We save the world. We're good.
I
wouldn't let my kid watch that.
Why not? Care Bears is great.
The only thing Wayseeker hates is short book reviews. That's the only thing he hates.
That was only 30 minutes.
Okay, no. The only thing he hates is like not asking questions that are rhetorical. Is this character going to be important? Oh shit! They already said he was going to be important.
The review was pretty quick. weren't.
For like how good that, I will say this. The only thing I'll say is that book could have that book not comic, the manga could have been a little bit shorter. And the reason why it could have been a little bit shorter was because some of that droid nonsense was just like filler. There was a little bit where it was a little bit overdone. So
yeah, I mean, but I think they probably had you got to make a story a little bit longer if you're going to sell it. I get it. I'm okay.
Jerome, the main villain is Marshawn Rowe. It's not a nameless villain.
Yeah, we'll see.
You don't think Marshawn Rowe is the main villain?
I am not sold that Marshawn Rowe is the main villain.
Oh, good Lord. Who do you think that? Wait, didn't I think? I think I've heard.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if Phase 3 comes out. We'll see. Anyway, I love Marshawn Rowe no matter what. He's a great character.
I hope so. BK, I want to take a break. I've done over like 600 shows straight, no breaks. Would love to take a break. Joe, that is not true. That is not true. The segment wasn't longer than that. All right. What else? Let's get into our last little seg real quickly.
Pass or play. All right.
I think we're going to change this to purchase or pass or something like that. I don't think people.
If you come up with a better title, put it in there. I don't like.
Yeah, guys, try to give us a better title.
We can maybe come up with a better title, but purchase or pass. But so we did this last week. We're going to do 4 books each time, all CGC 9.8s from the High Republic keys. Are they worth buying, or do we need to put them on the sidelines and not pick them up yet?
Honestly, I have a feeling that a lot of these books are going to be ones that linked into the comic book and the comic book, the novel from last week, and this manga, which has got some very interesting Phase 1 characters in it. So I hope it is. Oh, here we go.
We're going. So here was one that like shot up right out of the gate. Like the first
cool
week,
cover, yeah.
First week because of the cover, and it was all like, "Is this the first nameless? Great level." The whole debate that happened. I mean, this is before my time, but y'all spent like an hour covering all of this craziness that came out with this one. This is the 1 in 25 for Trail of Shadows 5.
Hey, I like that. Buy or buy. Hey.
Yeah, we could do that. That's cool. I like that one. So this is the first nameless. And it was a cover favorite just because it does.
The cover is dope
cool.
as shit. This picture doesn't do it justice.
No, you have to really put it in your hands to see it. I actually don't have one. I've seen this one, but I never actually purchased it because they were asking.
I have this a raw copy. I definitely have a raw copy of this. I don't have the graded.
I will not pay more than $25 for it personally, as a raw. But this one is still fairly pricey. Is what we see here. Average sale price for a 9.8 is $160. There's only 23 of these on the census. Is the first nameless, or maybe it's because of the cover, is this a buy at $160 for you?
I think when this came out, so like I don't just do, when I look at stuff too, I don't just look at like I look at what normies talk about, and this thing was in the normie chat about how cool the cover was. It had nothing to do with the nameless versus the I know that's what, when we tried to explain it to some people, it got into, I remember because JJ was big with us too doing this, and we were trying to go back and forth, and JJ's like, I don't think you're correct, but you kind of have something on it. And I was like, no, it's a different thing. But we tried to explain it into non-Star Wars people. They couldn't quite grasp even what the nameless was. Like the debate between me and JJ was if this was a great level or if just a nameless thing. Obviously, we found out how that turned out, but that's a good conversation where like the general population of the market wasn't even considering factor. I think, as JJ said, great cover with limited availability, I think had a lot to do with it too. Because it was the end, right? It's the last one of the 5, right? And it was a great cover. And to be honest with you, this short and the Eye of the Storm shorts were probably 2 of the better of this series. I mean, like, yes, the adventure stuff was way better than the High Republic mainline, but the High Republic mainline was really bad at this time too. And Trail of Shadows really stepped up the High Republic game. So it's right now it's averaging 160. There's only 23 9/8. I don't know how much lower it's going to go.
I think that's the hard part. I would agree with you. I don't think it's going to go much lower. I just don't think I'm a buyer at 160. I don't know how much higher it goes.
Well, if they have any mention of the nameless in the Acolyte, because we're all counting on the Acolyte to show us some things or talk about some things. A name drop or something might pique more interest in this book. Because you got to think about it. If the Nameless was such a big, monster and took out the Jedi's and that, they would have some kind of a name drop in the Acolyte.
No, I don't think so. Not necessarily.
No,
but if everything is true, and so one of the biggest things that's interesting about, like, when you say, Dom, you kind of said it earlier, like when people are talking and there's 1, 2, 3 things or whatever, I kind of follow like the trail of the likelihood, right?
Yeah.
If you told us that you're going to link up everything in phase 2, you're going to have the novels, which they did. They told us early on that this group is supposed to have the novels, the comic books, all the sectors of media, including TV and movies, eventually become one like rotating canon type thing. I'm not quite sure Acolytes is that part. I think it's just like the phase 1 comics, where you saw the phase 1 comics didn't quite add up with the novels and everything else they're putting out. But by the second or third attempt on it, it's going to feed into the main system. So I figure after we get Acolytes, we'll probably have 2 more things. And probably that second thing is where we start really pushing the Nameless and the Row and whoever Wayseeker thinks is the third hidden gem person. My brain can't think about it because I've been on the lake for 2 days. So
yeah, I would agree with you, Marco. I don't think the Acolyte is High Republic in the way that we've seen High Republic. It's just bridging the High Republic to the phase that we came after.
Oh, I don't think that, and also I don't think they're going to name drop him as the Nameless. I think they're going to call him the Shuru, whatever it is,
Guy,
Guy Shuru or whatever. Yeah, I think that's how they're going to do it. Which is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And Nameless by any other name is Nameless. So
the one thing this book has going for it was a hot book, and so everybody remembers it was a hot book. So if anything comes, this is going to be the one that people want. I don't know. This to me is not something I need, and is not up there on the other keys.
Did this get up to $300 at one point, somewhere around there?
This is going 150 for Raw, 160, 170, 180 for Raw.
So
yeah.
I meant when it dropped.
My thing
Sorry.
on this one is,
Sorry, they're gonna call it Bob. When Bob comes up, they drop the name Bob. You're right.
Yeah.
I think it was Raw. I think it was $80 out of the bat. It was $80 out of the gate when it dropped in the comic stores.
Something like, I thought it was 65, and by the next week it got up to
it was over double ratio right away.
Yeah.
so aside from it, and it is a nice cover. It's a really good cover. Like Marco said, this picture really doesn't do it justice. It really pops. The cover does. But as far as just being the Nameless, I kept trying to think of, do I care that it's a first appearance of the Nameless? And I got to be honest, I'm going to make an argument that I don't, because the Nameless, at least it's a tool used by the bad guys.
Right. Agreed.
So if you think about, okay, do we care about the first appearance of a Rancor? Do we care about the first appearance of I don't even know if we've had the first appearance of the Mythosaur or whatever, but do we really care about those kind of first appearances? And I don't think, from what I see of the hobby, I don't think the hobby cares that much about first appearances of these types of.
I would agree, but the problem, and kind of something JJ's brought up, and I agree 100% with this is a mini that had a 1 in 25 at the end of it.
It's scarce. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's where it's like, when people really talk about stuff like scarcity, like this is one where it's like, this is just like, what mini had a 1 in 25 that was also a very popular book? I'm not talking about like some of that shit that they do for like IDW or like, Scout Press, where they just put shit out there where it's 15 covers anyways. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking, or Image even. I'm talking about like in the main line, you don't see a lot of it. So, but yeah, I mean, if you can get for under 160, if you can get 120, 130 range, I think you steal one. You can steal one. You know what I mean? I think it's not a bad idea. Yeah, scarcity in the first.
So you're talking about steal it? No, I agree with JJ. I mean, it is scarce and it is a great.
Yeah, if you get this in a 9.8 for one. If you get this in a 9.8 for a 120, like you'll get one. If you wait long enough, you'll get one of these for 120. Somebody will have to sell.
Is it worth getting it at 120 to try and flip? Or are you talking about just getting it to keep for your?
Just PC? Both. I think that's probably, if you want it, I think 120 is probably the low end of what you're going to be able to get on this, and I don't think 160 is the high end. I think when the High Republic stuff hits again, like you got to remember, even though Phase 2 is doing really good, Phase 1 stuff's probably at the lowest you're going to see it for a while, because just as Dom started with the Acolyte things, he's not wrong that people are going to be bringing that up. As soon as people like start talking about the Acolyte, you're going to hear everything from ultrasound, that little rat character, all the way to, remember when Wayseeker was high on some fucking Gardener Jedi and some fucking Baker Jedi?
Hey,
you're
man.
going to hear that all shit come back up, right? Like you are. We are. I mean, we're going to do. You know how this rolls.
You should just be picking. If you can find good deals on some of the stuff, you're just picking it up, not knowing what's going to pop. But things will pop when Acolyte comes out. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, JJ's got a very good point. What about number 6, which has Thrawn 6, which has a very important first appearance that probably still has a high possibility of showing up? People forget about it, but it's at the end.
But I'm just thinking that once you get like something with the High Republic-ish on TV or cartoon, whatever.
We already do, Dom. We do.
I know.
Cartoon.
I know.
Hold on, let him finish, because this is the mindset you got to think of.
These are the books. These are the books that are definitely going to start peaking up. You're going to start seeing.
Yeah, because people are going to. He's right.
Yeah, because people be intrigued. It's not that they want.
Not even that. Just to create content, people are going to go back to the old things that they had been like, oh, this did well on a show, let's bring that back, and they're going to talk about this book, which is right. The way they do it probably is wrong, but like, you're going to argue that this isn't a good book? No, because who would argue that this isn't a good book? It's a cool cover, low print run, end of thing, has the Nameless in it. What is and was popular. This is one that should get hit. This is one where you're watching like top 10 shows. They're like, I don't know why this book has got something in it, probably a first appearance or something or another, but it's really hot. It's a banger, bangers and mash, or whatever the hell they say in these shows. You know what I mean? It's a banger. All right, there you go. Yeah. And I don't. Well, hey, Jedi, why is this book popular? I don't know. But it's last one sold for $320. Okay. All right. I mean,
it's a banger though.
It's a banger though. Yeah, banger.
Next one.
17,000.
Here we go. This is the IDW San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for High Republic 6.
I think we gave away a couple of these.
These ones have all of the Geode crew with Affy and Leo had Orbitek. And it also had everybody was specking hard on Talbota at the very beginning, because Talbota was like an ancient Jedi from the High Republic or whatever, from early in the High Republic, who we haven't seen since. But mainly this is about the crew of Geode, who people really like Geode.
Yeah, Geode, that's the one. I think we called that early, and it's like there's people showing up to cons dressed as Geode. Fucking rock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Geode likes the ladies, too. So that's not Geode likes the ladies.
And you got to think Geode lives forever. Like he's a rock. Like,
but this is obviously like what Dom was talking about earlier. When you have like little, like there's so much versatility with these characters. You can make them kid friendly, and you can also, as Jedi just pointed out, Geode likes the ladies, bro. Mm-hmm. Like you can make, and then we get the asexual Matthew McConaughey. So like, I mean, this is like the most. I was gonna say diverse, but people don't like that word. But this is the most. This is the most fluid or flexible group going on there. Tal, on the other hand, I mean, I was never high on that character, and
and Orbital.
I do like Orbital because he's cool, but they're not doing shit with him. There's no way.
It's about Geode, and we know we're getting more Geode stories. Like
Geode, and I mean, let's leave what it is. The Lex. The guy, he's a ex like meth head /
in the
I mean, they Matthew McConaughey him the fuck out really hard.
The vessel.
Yeah. So this one has 38.
They even gave him an all right in an novel.
This one has not sold in a 9.8 since May of 2022. So over a year ago, when prices were much higher and the comic market was much different than it is now. You're finding the raws kind of solid in that $15 to $30 range. And this one is one of those that I'm always looking to pick up. In that,
This book was really hot, and then there was the warehouse. I don't know if it's a warehouse find, but this is one of the ones that IDW will say dumped about.
They dumped it before they start
4 or
shredding.
5 months after the initial release, right?
Yeah, this is the one where they put it on sale for what we bought some and gave them away. I think it was
$8 a piece or something like that.
Yeah, $8 a piece. Yeah.
Yep.
So for them to sell, I mean, you bought it 8 and you're 24, 3 times price about. Still to this day, a year later, that tells you something about the book.
Yep. Again, and you haven't seen a 9.8 up for sale. Yeah. For a long time in an auction. So, yeah, I agree. 2,850 is way too high. I'd probably pay maybe 80, 90. I'd be a buyer of this one.
90 seems cheap. I don't know if you're gonna be able. That last book I said you could sneak it around for 120. I'm not sure you could sneak this for $90. Not when Raws are selling for 30. I think you might be able to sneak this for 100, but like $80, $60, I'm not quite sure you're gonna be able to sneak it for that.
Unless you buy it off a crackhead or somebody steals it and gives it to you. And you buy it
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But you should be, if you see a raw for 15 to 20, my recommendation is to buy a raw for 15 to 20. I agree with JJ on that one.
Go ahead, Jedi.
No, I was just going to say there are certain instances, and I've never seen this particular book, but there are certain instances where you'll be on a live auction and books will come up and there'll be just happen to not be very many Star Wars people in the crowd, and you could sneak something. I could almost see being able to sneak this in a live auction if the crowd is right, and there's not a whole lot of Star Wars savvy folks in the crowd. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Even Mars said dude. I'm telling you, people love the shit out of that Geo character. They didn't make Affie Holloway over anything. Like she's not. I'm telling you, this is the most flexible group. Like they have so much. They gave us so much for these to fall in love with these characters. Once again, we're just talking about Geo. What's his name?
The
Cudahy and Alfie. We're not talking about Tal, but they gave us enough room with these characters where there's so much they can work with that it kind of even opens up to like, oh shit, these are popular. This is this surprised. I remember when Gray was taking pictures and was on social media, and she was shit shocked about how many people like G. Like this was not a character. Once again,
but you know what's funny?
This is where they fucked up.
But you see how crazy it is that people were talking about Geo, how much people like Geo. You had to see all the hate about Geo too, which was crazy too.
I didn't see much hate. Well, I don't. Yeah, were you? I don't.
People thought it was kind of when the character was initially revealed.
Right.
People thought it was kind of stupid.
Yeah, people. You're right. People did. Yeah, I give you that. But it took, and that's where I'm saying, like we were talking about the thing earlier about Wayseeker, like Scott's revealing what character's important. If you told, I know for a fact because the author said this, they didn't think Geo was gonna be like that much, and he sure shit is. So
yeah, you're right. It makes a big difference, and they're listening. They're listening and using the characters that people like. So yeah,
I mean, I remember I don't remember which novel it was, but whichever it might have been the last Phase 1 novel. I can't think of the name, but when we initially thought that Leox could have died. Remember there was that he fell out of the spaceship or whatever.
Right.
And I was kind of pissed until I found out he didn't die. So I mean,
it's not just you. There's a lot of people who were emotionally attached to those characters, which is good. I mean, I can't remember. Besides Wayseeker talking about Santos and lying like he's actually fucking attached to that.
Hey, Wayseeker, quick question. The comic books with Geo and the comics with Lennox, did they have like individual comic covers with them, like the special books with the first wave? No, right?
No. There is a 1 in 10 for this one as well. I didn't put it on here. There's the regular cover, there's the 1 in 10, and then there's this.
Yeah, the 1 in 10 in this one.
Yeah.
And Orba truck in his 80 arms of squid, whatever dies.
Yeah. Here's the next one. High Republic Adventures.
So what are we so far? Are we past? Did we not buy any of the first two?
I'm a pass on both of those prices, but yes.
I think I
close though. I think both of them were very close on it, especially the first one. Right? I mean, Jedi, are you buying that at 160, the first one? Or you're buying it more like 130, right?
No, I'm not going to buy either of those at those 9.8 prices. No, one of them.
Here's one that I'll be interested to see if anybody passes on this one. High Republic Adventures 8, 1 and 10.
Buy.
First appearance is.
Don't need to know the price even. Buy. This is a buy in a 9.
What do you think the price is? What would you?
I would say it's probably about $100,
50.
$120 right now.
50.
50 for 1 and 10.
For the 1 and 10.
There's the one.
This is number 8 in the 1 and 10 too. It's a
wow, $77.
oh shit.
77. There's been multiple sales in that 75 to 80 range. Nothing really outside that range. And and the hard part is like 2 or 3 of these things have sold. There's only 15 of these on Census. That's minuscule.
Dude, this character has its own series. It just showed up in another book. It shows up. Sav shows up everywhere, and she's got ties to Maz. Like, how at $77? This is a no-brainer. This is a buy.
I would have bought this if I would have saw this. Yes.
Jedi,
These
go ahead.
1 and 10s, I think people were grading the number 2 or 4, right?
10
2?
for some reason.
1 and 2 for sure.
1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2 for
Yeah.
sure. But also, there's that 10
And
one. We
you
should
can pick
have put that
them up for less than ratio. I mean, a lot of times.
Yeah. These inner ones, yes, you could. The one that's really weird that people were picking up was the one that had this. I think it's 10. It's at 9 or 10. It was right before the end. Had nothing in it, but like some YouTubers, like I like the cover, so it started selling for like stupid prices, and now I think is under ratio.
I gotta check.
Yeah, John's like you piqued John's interest because it's the first time you've ever said you're willing to buy something. So
because this well, no, the last one I said I did say I'd buy at that prices because I'm notoriously cheap. We all know that. Like I am like, and I get, as we've seen from cons, like people make fun of me, but I do get it for the prices that I look for. But this one for $77, like I said, I thought this would be $100 book, and I said it's a buy at $100. So yeah, $77. Like that's how I do my shopping. If I think it's $100 and somebody else it says 77, I don't even negotiate at 77. I say, yeah, okay, got it. Fine.
And the crazy thing is, this thing is gonna skyrocket if Sav shows up because there's only 15 on Census. There's not going to be competing with a ton of people out there. If I had a raw that I thought was a 9.8, this would be in my 9.8 submissions. 15.
Go ahead. Where are you laughing at, Jedi?
No, I was looking at my little app where I for my inventory, and at first when I looked at that, I thought we were talking about number 10 because I zoned in on the number 10 up there, and I was like, shit, I don't even have this. And then I double checked, and it was 8. I was like, okay, I got it. Good.
Oh, I'm putting next week. We'll be doing this. I'm definitely gonna be doing the bake off. I'm gonna show a couple colors.
I don't think you will be because I think a 9.8 for the bake off is like $20.
Yeah, I'm gonna be showing it. Yeah, next week. Believe me, all these covers that all these people were fucking wasting. You weren't here. JJ was, Jedi was. When they were shitting on me, when I'm like, "This is bullshit price for this garbage book." We're gonna go look at some of those books and see if they're bullshit. Huh?
I wasn't shitting on you. I don't think
the chat. No. You were here in the chat.
Oh, well, yeah. There were 1 or 2 in the chat that thought that book was the next like.
Well, one of them's right there.
One
of them's. You just point up to one of the fucking guys. He's right above you, dude. That's what happens. If you shit on me enough in the chat, and I think you don't, your opinion sucks, I'll bring you on the show so that you can be here and give the opposite side of what
I'll be suspended for that one. That's good.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, Dom, are you buying this 77?
If I come across it, definitely. If I come across it when I go to Philly next week, in the weekend, I'll definitely.
77.
Yeah. That's fucking cheap.
You could probably talk them down too. You know, I don't know. You don't. If I have like maybe.
Yeah, they've been holding on to this, man.
Yeah, I definitely
get a raw.
Pick one up.
I'll be honest. Until like 5 minutes ago, I didn't realize this was a hot book. I mean, I have it because I have a lot of those.
Yeah.
The
I think I have it in my.
I think that's why this. I think this is why.
First appearance.
I think this is why it's a good segment because you're gonna start seeing some of this shit showing up in boxes and stuff being marked down because it hasn't been selling for a while, and you're gonna start seeing the shit, and you will find it at shows because if they're not selling their inventory, the big secret that's not such a secret, you know that if guys aren't selling the shit inventory on eBay, they take that shit to shows and they reduce the price because they don't have to pay the fee and they try to get it out of there, right? So if it's some of these guys, if it's over 3 months, 4 months, and they don't even have 2-3 lookers on it, which this book doesn't have fucking lookers on it. This is one you could definitely be popping and picking. So,
yeah.
Just pick up the 1 in 10s when you see them.
No, not all.
No, Dom. There's only a few 1 in 10s that are worth picking up.
I know, but the 1 in 10s, if you're cheap, if you get them for like $1, $1, pick them up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, I got one more to talk about today. This one is Marco's favorite.
I love this book.
Star Wars 20. This is the 1 in 25. I don't know why I put 120, whatever.
This is a fucking badass motherfucking book.
First appearance here of Elzar. Man.
Badass motherfucker named Elzar. Last name's Man. You know he's the man. What's his last name? You know he's the man. What's his last name?
Man.
Say his name.
The Man.
No, there you go. He's the man. Let's go.
All right. 9.8. What are you paying for this one?
Considering I have 3 of them, nothing.
That doesn't help for the segment.
Yeah, no, I agree.
$70.
You have 3 9.8s or 3 raws?
I have 1 9.8, 2 raws. I don't know. I can't because I'm cheap. I would say this book. What do I think a fair market? Do you want to know what I think the fair market of the book right now is for this book? Especially after what's happened in phase 2, I think the fair market would probably be 145, 150. Fair. Under market. So it's right around there. Yeah.
Average set price to this one's 135. Only
so
1 or
right
2
there.
sales on this one. You do see raws fluctuate. I've seen raws go for 80. I've seen raws go for 35. So the raw kind of is all over the place on this
Still
one.
above ratio. I mean, that makes sense.
22 of these on census. Marco owns, 5% of them right there.
I own 1 that's on the census.
That's 5%.
Oh, nice. Not paying attention. How many are on the census? 22. Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a really small number on the cities on census. 135. I'm a buyer at 135 on this 9.8.
135 buyer?
Yeah, dude. No, you can knock this and then people have tried calling it whatever the fuck I heard somebody call it. They pre-qualified it that's the first appearance of a force message from the future person in a sideways tunnel 13 ways removed from some. Is that you, Jedi? Yeah.
It's not. I mean, if you really, and I'm not going to argue with the market because it's pointless. But when you really break it down, it is not Elzar in this comic. It is a projection of Elzar by that planet. It is not him. But
he says, "I'm Elzar Man." He says, "I'm Elzar Man." He says, "I'm Elzar."
He does, because that's the planet's projection of Elzar saying and introducing itself to Luke in that form.
Do you know that? Do you know that Elzar Man's not a real person? Neither is anything in Star Wars.
Okay. I preface this with I'm not going to argue with the market on this because the market has decided.
Yeah.
But technically, it's not, in my opinion. That's why, by sheer principle, I'm not paying $135.
It always seems that the people. This is where we get stuck because we're going to say words, and then when we say them, somebody else is going to use it for some other horse shit that it doesn't apply to. But yes, this book typically seems that the people that didn't get in on it cheap are like, yeah, dude.
I have this book. I have it. I got it raw. I bought it for ratio, if I remember right, off the shelf. So
He's not a holocron. He's literally it's him. But
here's the other thing about these.
It can't be him because he was there and he left. So then it can't be him.
But he left his force essence there. It's
okay.
All right. First picture of him.
He left his force essence all over it. He left, yeah. Either way.
Here's the thing about this one too. For me, this is a hard 9.8. I own I think 4 raws of this. I don't think any of the raws, I got them all new, are 9.8. So they're probably all were 9.6s. For whatever reason, I just wasn't able to pick up a 9.8 candidate. Maybe somebody's magic pressing can find a way to make it 9.8. But I did not see too many copies from where I'm at that were that quality.
But this picture does look. This is a really good cover. Okay, it's a really good cover. The cover pops really well. That's what too.
Yeah, I mean it's a good book. Like it or hate. I mean, this is one that falls under the 80-81. Is 80 technically the first appearance? Yeah, sure, but I mean,
it's a fun conversation.
Yeah, it is. But this is the winner. To be honest with you, you do know that he does technically show up in another book, but it's literally just him. It's him in the background with a hood on, and the only reason you know it's him is because it's a depiction of a novel, a scene in a novel.
Right.
Hey,
You have to remember too
is
that
that
I'm the guy
is that a coincidence? The Revan, the first appearance of Revan with a hood on, and the same thing. They call that the first.
No, because they identify him in that book.
Okay.
They don't identify man in the High Republic book.
You have to remember too that I'm the guy that says that Avar Kriss' first appearance is not in Kylo Ren number 2.
I would agree that's a cameo.
I'd agree that's cameo. That's
This
different.
one I don't agree because it's way more talking and identification.
And he says, "I'm Ezra Man," and he goes, "This is da 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 da." And literally the whole book. This whole book is about Ezra Man. It'd be like if somebody made a first appearance in a flashback, and you say, "Well, that's technically not him because it's a flashback." Well, yeah, it is a flashback.
Well, Avar Kriss in the Kylo Ren book.
We just said that.
Oh, you said? I'm sorry.
Which I would say is a cameo. I agree.
Cameo. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry.
It's all good.
No, this is not. It's more than half the book. This is like
selling
90% of the book. Yeah.
If I were going to sell my book, I would say, "Hey, yes, first appearance of Ezra Man."
Yeah, which you'll say it to sell. Yeah. Okay, I see.
But yeah,
Because I'm not selling the book.
what hat I'm wearing at the time.
I would. So Dom, are you a buyer at 135? I'm a buyer at 135. Marco.
No, Double J. We're talking about the flip
You know
book
what?
where he's in the hood.
Maybe, but you know what? It's the average sale. You probably find it cheaper. You can probably find it cheaper.
So here's the hard part, though. The average sale, yes, is one of those. There's only 22 of these, so it's hard to find them cheaper because they don't come up very often. That's where like it's not like we're looking at like we're looking at like 2 sales or 3 sales over like 4 months because again, there's just not that many right now.
Yeah, this is a good
Well,
book.
especially how many?
This one came out of the gate.
I'm sorry,
no.
Jay. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, kind of like the trail of Shadows book that we talked about earlier. This one was on all the hot 10s right out of the gate. So this one has the reputation already, pretty well known as being a kind of a hot book. I mean, or at least it
Both
was
those books, Trail of
The one
Shadows.
we just looked at, the one with Sav, not necessarily, it didn't come out as a hot book right away. So
Oh,
you can
you're
probably
right.
still sneak that one maybe.
Absolutely right.
This one's been hot from the beginning.
I'll tell you, actually, this one had you could find this for ratio, and you could have found the Shadows for ratio for about 2 days, till they needed content on the list. Well, I think till people actually found out what it was, and then by that point, I think people went back to try to go get it, and it was game over. You know what I mean? So
Because I know I got this book. I know I got it raw.
yeah,
You know, it is a cool cover. I actually did enjoy the story too. I thought the story was really good, really cool. You know, I like the part when as our man turned into the skeleton at the end, when the book and stuff like that. I kind of like that, but you know, this didn't have the reputation. The Shadow, the Trails of Shadows didn't have the reputation as much as this one did.
yeah.
And how many do you think these are? How many books do you think they have? 1 in 25 of this Star Wars book. You think about it.
So this one's gonna have more. Ordering 25 of these is not as rare as like ordering 25 of Trail of Shadows. Like Trail of Shadows.
Trail of Shadows was the end of a mini.
That's
Okay.
And JJ's right. It wasn't hot till like a week and a half or 2 weeks later.
Well, I mean, this is Star Wars. This is the flagship, supposed to be the flagship comic for.
Yeah. If you were on the East Coast, you got this book. I don't know like when it was exactly, but I know that within 48 hours it fucking blew up.
You know what? I would buy this at 135. The heck with it.
Yeah,
I would.
I agree.
I definitely would.
That's not bad. So there's 2 that we go back to the. Is there any more books or no?
no, that's it. We got 4. So
Okay, so this one's a buy, and well, that's a buy. Fuck yeah, that's a buy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this one we said was too high because there hasn't been a sale any. You know.
Yeah.
I don't even have that book.
But some people buy that as a raw. Not a bad buy.
I buy it as roll. And this one.
And I
I
have
love
that
book.
raw myself.
Yep.
I like it. I mean, I think it's underpriced if that's the question. So, all right, cool, man. Good job. Nice books you throw together. Next week, I think I'm going to throw together hype books that like, why the fuck were people talking about these books anyways?
There's quite a few of them.
It's gonna be there's a couple. Dude, remember the one where it's like it's a yellow cover and Quartz is walking? It's like a terrible fucking cover. I think it was like number 9 or some shit like that. I think somebody misquoted it as being the last book in the fucking run, which was not true.
Well, you got to put
huh?
You're gonna have to have Kira's niece and nephew in that list. Then.
That's a different list. That
list is like, what the fuck are people pumping?
I thought that's what you were talking about. Like, why?
No. This one was like, it was legit. The people were making terrible reasons why. It's just the same thing as like the Bake Off. Like, people were making terrible reasons why, but like, they had some sound. Like the Kira Cousin book is about the same. Where I see the Dr. Aphra's on the cover in an Imperial fucking suit book. Like, that shit doesn't. It takes like 2 seconds to figure out that shit doesn't make any sense. When you do Bake Off, was it a miss? Sure, but was the logic behind the reason why it could be a hit semi-solid? I mean, was there at least some thought process behind it? I'm not knocking Wayseeker for those people that are new that don't understand. Wayseeker was very adamant in the chat that he was going to tell me how fucking stupid and wrong I am, because that book was going to be the key to Phase fucking 2. But like, with that being said, like, he wasn't. I didn't think it was that as serious as he took it, but I did think it could have had some type of link, even though it had zero type of link to it. So there was solid foundation on why you take a gamble on that book. The book with fucking Kira's fucking sister, that was gobbledygook nonsense of people who don't read fucking comics. They literally refuse to open up the fucking book. Same thing with Dr. Aphra on the front cover. Like, that wasn't I mean, you don't what the fuck. So, no. Killed the same what? Random shit. When people are killed in the same issues. There was. It was an odd ball incentive though. If I recall, like, there was not a set for the mainline storyline. No, the one that I'm talking about was on IDW. It was, we'll get to all those. There's a bunch of them. There was a bunch that for some reason people were like pushing really hard. Top 10 lists were definitely pushing them hard, and there was no reason to push them.
I think the 9 was New York NYCC Comic Con. They had one.
Yeah, that's not it then. It might have been 6 then.
I think JJ was talking about. I don't know. I could be wrong. I was wondering if that comment by JJ was meant about the Star Wars 20. There was no reason for people to order a lot of Star Wars 20 because there really wasn't. There was no real lead up to that. Luke just landed on this planet because it was in the diary.
And it just popped up. Yeah, it was crazy. No, the one I'm talking about had Quartz on the front cover and he's walking. It's very cartoonish. It has what's her name with the pink treadles in the background. He's kind of walking like this, like a hobo sack.
Is that one of the Katie Cook covers? Katie Cook has a couple of the ones.
Might be. Covers. It might have been a Katie Cook cover. Yeah. I mean, it's trash. I mean, not Katie Cook. It's just not good art. And whatever else. All right. Well, Wayseeker will be on suspension next week. Thanks for giving us. Thanks for boring Jedi with questions.
Yep.
So
no problem.
Now that Jedi Johnson's back in good graces of the show, you, however, will be on suspension.
We got no books to review until I don't know. We got one all summer, so we're not going to have any book reviews coming up.
But we have to start doing our card stuff because I want to get in there.
Perfect.
Any Rose Besh cover. Wait, John, look, everybody can have good opinions. I will tell you this. His thought process, though flawed, was also kind of sound, if that makes any sense, because it doesn't, but it does. Like, he's on the right track. He just missed what was going on.
I like get down rabbit trails, and I like to make things possible that aren't possible. That's just who I am. Mm-hmm. It's cool. I got one copy. I have my one copy. A 1 in 10.
Wow. I mean, you can buy a bunch of them now. Anyways, thank you. Make sure you guys are checking out Get Off My Lawn, the old person show with really old people on this channel. We talked about a couple months ago getting a younger demographic, so we started the Get Off the Lawn show. Get Off My Lawn show.
They review bears.
They literally had a review of what is the best bear of the 80s and didn't go with Bad News Bears. Didn't go with like a lot of different bears they could have gone with, including gummy bears. Instead, this is how old that show is. They went with Winnie the fucking Pooh.
No, dude, you got to watch it because Gummy Bears were the Cinderella team all the way up to
There's the Gummy Bears.
Gummy Bears surprised a lot of people. They did really well.
Dude, he's so old that his like the copyright has expired on him. That's how old the character that you ranked as the top 1980s bear is.
Somehow,
you do
though,
understand that, right?
somehow Jedi and Dom are both younger and more hip than Styx. That's the most impressive story about that show. Is like Styx is like, let's go back to like the 60s and find a way to go even further back.
We got to be careful on that show with Styx because if we play a video clip, Styx's internet connection is like from the 1980s.
Dial up.
Dial up.
Play a video clip and we lose Styx for like 5 minutes. We're like just trying to...
He kept doing the robot sound. Do you believe?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
All right, so make sure you check out that. Make sure you check out SNS. They're doing a great job over there, or Kyle Vision as they call it. And then check out all the other great content. Oh shoot, yeah, we have TAC. There's going to be a new segment on TAC this week. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm not going to enjoy it at all, and I'm not going to participate. But I have a feeling that you people will thoroughly enjoy the segment. So there you go.
This week we're planning on doing pretty much a Miles Morales show on Friday. Dom's going to give us an update from is it Fan Expo in Philadelphia? Is that what it is? Fan Expo? Yep. And I think by the time the show airs, Styx will have seen the Miles Morales movie and he'll give us a spoiler-free opinion of the movie. So it'll be fun.
Nice. And TAC will give you a preview of that same Fan Expo. So there you go. All right. I think what's horrible. Yeah. Whatever I said is horrible. Sure, watch it. Train wrecks are horrible too, but they're great. So there you go. Watch all the great content that we have here on Resolution. Thank you everybody for all your support. Thank you for sticking with us the holiday weekend. We do truly appreciate it. Thanks for fucking 40 sticking around this long. All right, guys, we will catch you next week. Let's see who gets suspended and who comes back. Eventually, I'm just going to suspend everybody so I don't have to do this show anymore. That's what I'm going to do. So
There you go.
See y'all later.
See ya.